Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Latimer Park for the penultimate game of the season in the Evo Stick League South Central Premier. Kettering Town, the Poppies, against Barwell, the Canaries. And you're ready to hear this game live here on Poppies TV. Well, Ed,
yes. Champions, and what a lovely day to celebrate it as well. It's warm, sunny, and I'm sure there will be many drinks flowing. Of course, we've not partaken in any of that.
Well, I'm teetotal. So there we are. We will not be speaking to Marcus Law or any of the players after the game because the celebrations and presentation of the trophy will be taking part, and everybody will be involved in that. But we'll be speaking to Chairman Terry Barrett, who's going to come on and give us a few words from the Southern League. So he'll be presenting the trophy to my Mr. Clark's there. No, he's shaking his head at me, but he'll be with us round as well. So we'll be having a word with them in a few moments' time. But Kettering secured the championship 1-0 at Halesowen last week, backed by around 700 Kettering Town fans. The scenes are there for you to see on our website. It rivals the games at Tiverton, Rugby Town and Telford United. It was a great experience, and Halesowen did us proud, didn't they?
They did, and all the credit in the world has to go to Halesowen because they'd put things in place for a team that were potentially going to win the league, knowing that they were also going to be relegated from it. But they were the most gracious of hosts as well, and the majority of Kettering fans had followed the instructions that were set out for them. But it was a good game, and in respect to Halesowen, if they play like that next season, they'll be bouncing straight back up because it was not an easy game for Kettering. Let's make that 100% clear. The defence and the goalkeeper for Halesowen were superb, just incredible, and Kettering really struggled to break Halesowen down, and playing like that, they will pick up points nearly every game next season.
They will indeed. Highlights from today's game will be seen on our website a little later in the week. You can also get your DVDs against Charlton Athletic. They are available in the clubhouse. And on Monday, we travel to AFC Rusden Diamonds for the crucial derby game. Ed and myself will be there commentating on that game, so you won't miss anything at all. And I do believe there's quite a few people going to our clubhouse to listen to me.
Breakfast and everything, and we'll be on the big screen. Audio only, so you don't have to look at us. But we will be there bringing you all the action for those of you who haven't got your tickets and want to go. If you are going, of course, it is all ticket, so you do need to go through the appropriate channels to get yourself a ticket for that one. You can get tickets all the way up until match day. And if you get them on match day, they're just an electronic thing that comes on your phone and you scan them in as you come through. Apart from that, we'll be on at the clubhouse.
We will indeed. So stay with us after the game finished today. We'll give you the teams in a moment, but as I say, the presentation will be filmed and we'll be out there interviewing a few fans and with our cameras, etc. A different sort of thing for Poppies TV, but there we are. Ed, we want to read out today's team. It's changed dramatically. This is a very, very different team indeed.
So brace yourselves for this one. Number 1, Paul White, as usual. Yep. That's fine. Number 2, James Brighton. 3, Ben Toseland. 4, Brett Solkin. 5, Gary Storer. 6, Michael Richards. 10, Ben Milnes. 15, Declan Towers. 16, Luke Graham. 17, Ben Bradshaw, and 18, Nathaniel Rowe Turner. On the bench, 7, Lyndon Meikle. 12, Dion Kelly-Evans. 14, Marcus Kelly. 19, Craig Stanley, and 20, Joe Massaro. So Kettering will be playing the full 90 without a recognised striker on either the starting 11 or the bench.
Indeed, yes. Dan Holman is injured, a slight injury, so they're resting him. Aaron O'Connor is ill, and Rhys Honus is being rested. So it gives a lot of the fringe players a game against really quite a strong Barwell side who are actually in form.
When you look at it, it's actually not. Without the striker, it's still quite an attacking team. I mean, Brighton and Toseland won't stay back. We know that. They'll play in full-back positions, but they will be forward as much as possible. Ben Bradshaw attacks quite a lot as well. Storer, depending on where they're going to be playing him, could very well be attacking as well. But I mean, the other thing is that we've got Rowe Turner, Graham, Solkin, and Towers, who are all sort of defensive-minded players. It'll be really interesting to see how Kettering line up, actually, because obviously Rowe Turner's a left-back, Ben Toseland is a left-back, James Brighton is arguably a left-back as well. So it's either going to be very left-heavy or there's going to be a few players who are being tried out in different positions today.
Well, we will see that in a few moments. Barwell, in fact, have won 3, drawn 2, and lost 1 of their last 6 games. They did beat Alfchurch 5-1, which was a remarkable scoreline, really, although Alfchurch were reduced to 10 men. But take nothing away from Barwell, that was a very, very good result. This will be very, very difficult, as it's a strong Barwell side, and they line up like this. Liam Castle in goal, Jai Rowe is at number 2, Elliot Putman 3, Elliot Percival number 4, ex-Poppy Henry Ease, we all know about Henry at number 5. He's already played against Kettering once this season for Stamford in the FA Trophy, was that?
I think it was the trophy.
The trophy, yeah. 6 is Nigel Julian, 7 Dominic Brown Hill, 8 Alec Tomkinson, 9 Jamie Towers, who also played about 10 minutes for Kettering in the conference in 2010, I believe. Brady Hickey, of course, number 10, the leading goal scorer for the Canaries, always a threat. And Samuel Hollis is number 11. Their subs are 12 Daniel Durkin, 14 Samuel Preston, 15 Kevin Charlie, and 16 is Edward Nivzik, and 17...
Close enough, but nowhere near.
Yeah, almost right. 17 Jarven Davidson Miller, ex-Poppy, who started off the season with Kettering. Referee today is Robbie Dadley. So that is your team lines. We'll give you those nearer to the game, and they'll be on our screen. Been attacked by something in here. It's not a wasp, thankfully, or Ed would be freaking out, but it's another pain that we've got to deal with. The joys of live commentary on here, but there we are. Well, we've told you that Terry Barrett, etc. from Southern League, will be here, and we're going to bring him on now. Ed,
yes.
If you can just depart for a few moments, we'll have a quick word with
we will
Terry.
Do when we're all ready for me to disappear, actually on the screen.
Yes, if I producer... there he is. Ed's just beamed off to the Enterprise, and here we go. So after the game, Kettering will be presented with a new trophy, one that hasn't been seen other than in the imagery that we've produced over the week. But pleased to have you both here, Terry, and from St Ives. Marvellous experience there on that high rise. It was a delight, actually, and I mean that sincerely. I thought St Ives did Kettering Town very, very proud, and I'm pleased that your season's turned around for you.
Isn't that not one of the virtues of the Southern League? It's a very friendly league.
99% of it.
Yes, that comes across.
It does, yeah. We've been treated very well at places like Rushall, Olympic, Leiston, Lowestoft, and last week at Howzone, as Ed said, fantastic. Stratford and St Neots have been superb. So it's good. So Terry, it's the first time this league has been fought for. Kettering Town have won it, getting a new trophy in the history. How do you feel that the league's gone?
For me, well, you bear in mind we have two Premier Divisions.
Yes.
We have Central and South. I think personally the Central is probably slightly stronger. No argument. Most teams can beat most teams. It's been wide open for, Barwell beating Alfchurch. Wow.
Yeah, that was an incredible result.
But there's been quite a few of those as the season's gone on. So yeah, it's been very, very good. But also, the positives are the cut back on travelling. Last year, my club is Hitchin Town. Last year we were going down to Merthyr. We were going down to Taunton, Tiverton.
We had the Tiverton experience. We got back at, I think it was about 5:15 in the morning after a 10:30 start the previous day. So Hitchin was where it all started for Kettering this season.
1-0
win. Marcus Kelly, Honus, early on.
It was,
it's a top field there. It was a good result. Well, it was a good result for Kettering anyway. And of course, you've actually got back into it this season, Hitchin. There was one point where, like relegation, maybe there, wasn't it? But they've done well too.
We got 6 games on the bounce, which gave us a little bit of cushion. Yeah. But we're safe now. But
I did see on your Twitter site that you congratulated Kettering Town, saying thank you for congratulations on winning it after 6-0 aggregate score. Not pleased to see you go. But there we are.
Yeah, good.
One thing that has been puzzling, and I've not really taken too much time looking at this because we've got no Nito as champions, but the playoff system seems a bit complicated to me.
Right. Let's take the situation where you finish second. You then play 5. Because you're second, you will be at home.
In the same league teams.
Same teams. Yep. So then 3 will play 4. 3 will be at home.
Right.
Let's assume that 2 beats 5. They will then play the winners of 3 or 4 at home because they're the highest ranked club. The unfortunate thing for me personally again is that the winner then goes into a super playoff, and there it's been organised now that the central playoff winner will play the Northern Premier playoff winner. Our Premier South will play the Isthmian South. Isthmian winners. The disappointing is then the facility, home game will be to the club with the most points per game. But it seems to me strange that two clubs will not make it, and I find that very disappointing.
I suppose really this is the season to win the league, isn't it?
It is, but next season there will be 8 up and 8 down. It's just this year, because the National League only wanted 6, therefore we've got the 4 winners and 2 super playoff winners. Fine, I'm not happy, but we have to live with it.
Your thoughts on that?
Yes, Gary.
I agree with Terry. It's a sad way of doing things, and the sad thing is you could win your playoffs and not go up. And that's
Exactly.
the ironic thing.
Yes.
That's the ironic thing.
Yes.
So
That's so disappointing, isn't it, Gary? If that, like you should take Bedford can actually win their division, playoff division, and not go up at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we came out from the playoffs 3 years ago, and we beat Rushton Diamonds.
Yeah.
The
Sorry,
thought-
you beat who?
Rushton Diamonds. Your friends, yeah, your friends.
Well, so some of that sentence is right. Our.
And the thought that we would have then gone into a playoff with somebody else not gone up, it's heartbreaking. All the work that's gone into a year for the players, the manager. So, as Terry said, it's a one-off this year because there's only 6 coming down from the conference.
As you probably appreciate, not so much next season, but the season after, there will be a perfect pyramid. So there will be a new league in the northeast at step 4.
Wow.
So therefore you'll have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16.
Is that the Pythagoras League? Isn't that what we call
Yes,
it?
basically, yes. So there'll be a new league in the northeast. Question who runs it is in debate now.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
One other thing I'd like to talk about is the improvement that seems to have been on the results side of things with your website with David David Simpson.
Yes.
Yeah, he's done a good job, hasn't he?
The website has cost us quite a bit of money, but the view of the board was that I use the word light years behind our colleagues in the other leagues, particularly with social media, all those sort of things that go with it. So we have invested money. Now, I know we have a few clubs that are not happy with what we call the app, where at 2:15 they lock the team down. Both teams are locked down. As the game progresses, goal scorer goes in at the time. Half time, the attendance goes in. When the referee blows his final whistle, push the button, the league's got it. So it's got the team, it's got the results, it's got the attendance. We're looking also whether we should include yellow cards, red cards, but that's in the pipeline. But so as soon as the referee blows his whistle, the league has got the result.
As a stato, I find the league very good because you can go back into the archives and research other teams' results from 5 or 6 seasons ago, which I find quite useful. As being the programme editor as well for Kettering Town, it's been quite useful. I think David's done a very good job. He certainly improved it from when it was Pitro, hasn't it? And but I know we can't say too much about that, but for me, as a outsider, it's a vast improvement.
Good, but I'm pleased. Personally, I'm very pleased to hear that because, again, we had our problems with Pichera. They're still a good company.
Yeah.
But we found we did ask presentations from various people, and OmniWeb came out as the preferred supplier. So we're more than happy. More than happy.
So the new trophy today, is there a name for it?
There's no name.
It's a nice trophy. I've seen it in picture. I've not seen it live yet.
I was going to call it the St Ives Benevolent Trophy.
Without being tongue kind, that's the news I get.
Not far wrong there.
No, I was joking. I thought
The only discussion we had amongst the board was the trophy that was originally shown to us because we allocated a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And with the greatest respect, it was minute compared to what we have, and the board said we can't use that. That's ridiculous. So we have gone for it. We've pushed the boat out big time. So we had to buy 2.
Oh,
Well, one for Central, one for South.
of course, yes, of course. Yeah, that might be going to Weymouth, I would have thought.
Possibly.
Possibly,
But
yeah.
then there'll be a super playoff for the Shield.
That's a beautiful shield, though, isn't it?
It's a lot of history behind it.
We won that a few times. It's a
Yes, there's
superb
lot of
shield,
history.
and
But so there'll be a super playoff for the Shield.
hopefully here we're going to travel down to Sussex. So
It's the
that'll
club
be,
with the most points
better
per game.
points.
So
Yeah. We're
yes,
7
so I
points
think
ahead of Weymouth at the moment.
you need, I think somebody said you need 3 points from
Yes.
so many games. So yeah,
And looking at this team, it's going to be an interesting game today. I do fear, but it should be good. Thank you very
okay.
much for
Thank you for your time.
coming over, Gary. Too nice to see you again.
Great.
We won't be on your gantry next season, unfortunately.
You
But,
never know in the cup.
you never know,
You
indeed.
never know.
Have a great
Well,
afternoon.
I wish you well in.
Thank you very much.
In fairness, I think you have a superb management team here. I get on very well with David Mahoney. Neil is very good. So yeah, super. First, I've seen what's his name, Richie. Today.
Richie, yes,
No,
he's-
nice to see him again.
Yeah,
So,
he's
good.
he's been very good this season so
Good.
far.
No,
He's
it's
a
been-
delight to work with,
Yeah,
and
good.
he's done well
Okay,
for the club.
thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. See you at full time and from afar. And welcome back, Ed. We're around 14 minutes away from match day, the final, well, not the final, penultimate game of the season. As I say, Barwell are in a very good position. They have a special place in Marcus Law's heart. He was their manager before his first appointment at Kettering Town in 2010. And they look a bit puzzled there.
Yes, no, I was just wondering what was going on with our producer. Seemed to be clicking everything other than the right button, which is always nice to see. But
He had a full mix up.
but yeah, no. Obviously, Marcus Law knows Barwell very well. He spoke to us briefly about them last week at House Owen, and they're a team that can cause problems, but they're not. They're going to be safely mid-table, I think, aren't they? They're quite a way off the playoffs and quite a way off relegation as well.
Yeah, they're in 16th place. They're quite safe and secure. Declan Towers and Craig Stanley, of course, meet their ex-players as Richard Lavery also faces his old club, and Henry Eze makes a return to Latimer Park where he scored that great goal against Slough Town and Downtown earlier on, and Daventry, I believe, as well. Just a few things upcoming. On the 22nd, we mentioned it again, AFC Rouge and Diamonds is a 1 p.m. kick-off. We will be there covering this game. Broadcast will start around 12:50 p.m. so we shall be there in that game. Then on Friday the 26th, we've got an evening with Barry Fry and Curry. I think there may be a couple of tickets left, I'm not quite sure, but it's £10 at Clubhouse, almost a sellout. It'll be good to see Barry Fry once again. And then the final Saturday is against Stratford Town on the 27th, and they're still fighting to keep in those playoffs. And of course, you didn't know the score from last night. It was Stourbridge 3, Alvechurch 3. Alvechurch going 2-0 up and then scoring in the 97th minute to deny Stourbridge. Stourbridge must love these late goals.
Honestly, you would think that as soon as it comes to 90 minutes, it becomes a whole
Different ball game for them.
It almost like a new game has started. It's almost like golden goal, isn't it? It is. Stourbridge must really, really hate 90 plus minutes, but that must have been a great game to be at, in all fairness.
2-0, I thought, well, that's Alvechurch have carried on from beating us. They've been the form side, and then I saw it was 2 goals in quick succession, and the comeback complete with a 3-2 towards the home team. And then, of course, it was a 3-3 draw with a goal in 97 minutes, putting Stourbridge on 77 points and Alvechurch on 72. So I think the playoff situation here with Stourbridge, Kingsley and Alvechurch and Stratford's about done, isn't it? I don't think Colville or Rushden and Diamonds can nick that
No, I
last
mean
place.
Diamonds are what 9 points
with 3 games.
With 3 games, I'm not too sure how Colville are. I mean, it would take one of those teams to really slip up, and it would be Stratford, the team that do it. And I don't think they will, considering they won the Southern League Cup or whatever it was, the competition they were in. They won that
the CSS,
on Tuesday, wasn't it?
So 1-0.
It's I can't see. I think we're, touch wood anyway, with 3 games to go, pretty much guaranteed the playoff teams. What order they'll be in, not sure yet, but it's going to be those 4, isn't it? I would think actually they will probably be in a similar order to they are now. I would think Stourbridge will finish 2nd. Kingsland likely to finish 3rd, or that's the one that I think will either change, either be Kingsland or Alvechurch 3rd, and then either of those 2 4th, then Stratford bringing up the rear on 5th.
On May the 4th, one fixture I did miss out was the Championship Shield game that Terry and Gary mentioned there against Weymouth. maybe at Latimer Park. It's the same evening as our playoffs. So
not as our
sorry,
playoffs.
as our presentation evening. If you look out, also today they played Cheshire United at home, so we need 3 points to make sure that fixture against Weymouth is at Latimer Park. So that is very good. Today's match is sponsored by the Exiles, who do a wonderful job. That's all the fans that listen to us on the radio, TV, and they support the club from afar. That is all done by, I think it is Clive Blanchard who organises all that for the club, so that is fantastic. That we might even see one of the old Poppy's TV commentators, Simon Ward. He might be popping over at the end of the game to collect his shirt from about 2 seasons ago.
Yes,
from a fundraiser.
On the topic of shirts, I know Martin Bellamy would hate it if I didn't say it, considering I bought one off him. They are all gone for today, but he is going to have more. The special champions shirts that we are giving out, the home and away shirts, which is just the playing shirt, but underneath the badge it has the Central League champions writing underneath it. £35. If you let Martin Bellamy know on any of the normal ways you let him know things, then he will keep one back for you.
Also, don't forget to vote for your player of the season. The poll is on Kettering Town's Poppy's TV website, where you can vote, and that will be in alliance with the paper vote from the club, and on May the 4th at Sywell Aerodrome, Hangar 1, where all the presentations will be taking place. That will be hosted by myself, Ed, and Matt Spearman. We'll be there along with a load of other people. It should be a good evening.
Be a great evening. I can't wait. Actually, they're always usually quite a good laugh, but especially this season, now we've got the championship wrapped up and the trophy there, it will be more of an occasion, shall we say.
It's my 4th championship. Yourself?
I mean, technically in my lifetime, yes, 4th championship. I was a bit young to be down at Tiverton, so it's the 3rd I've seen, but the 4th that I have seen since I've been with the Poppies.
So there we are then. It's next season, of course, it's going to be a different season. We won't talk too much about that today. Let's enjoy what we have. It's beautiful weather out there. Hopefully there's a large crowd. I don't know what the crowd is like at the moment. We've been in the studio for the last 25 minutes or so, but it does look to be a beautiful afternoon. And if you're not watching football, you're either on a holiday or you're not a Kettering Town fan, but it should be a good afternoon. Should be.
We've obviously got the bits in place for the presentation after the game. That's all sorted. There's been a lot of planning going to that one, so that should be quite a slick and enjoyable moment.
There'll be a 15-minute interval between the players going off and the presentation starting. We won't be covering that live commentary, although we will be filming it, and we'll be out there in the crowd with our camera, so we can put that on our highlights package, and we'll see what we can do for you there. Just one other bit of good news for Poppy's TV is we do have the news that we are going to be sponsored next season by a brand name. I can't say who it is at the moment, but that is great that next season we are going to be sponsored, and takes a bit of pressure off us as we are self-sustaining.
Yeah, it really is quite an incredible thing that we are in the whole self-sustaining, really, isn't it? All the equipment and everything is paid for by the fundraisers that we do and things like that. Obviously the main revenue stream was lost with the able to pay, charge for
that was a big blow, wasn't it?
It was a massive
losing blow. That revenue coming in by the FA banning us from screening the live games, but we've fought on. Next year will be a different proposition in the Vanarama stroke Motorola-rama, whatever it's going to be called.
They've changed it, isn't it?
It's
it's either Motorama or it's close, because they obviously started out just selling vans, didn't they? Now they're selling pretty much all vehicles, so I'm not too sure what they have actually changed it to yet.
So there we are. Well, we're getting nearer to...
We're about 5 minutes.
We are 5 minutes away-ish from kick-off. Ed, if you want to nip upstairs into the sunlight, I'll be joining you in a few moments. So Ed departs, taking a glass of lemonade with him. Very nice indeed. I'll just go through Kettering Town's team one more time for you. In goal is Paul White, number 2, James Brighton, 3, Ben Toseland, 4, Brett Stolken, 5, Gary Storer, 6, Michael Richards, 10, Ben Mills, 15, Declan Towers, 16, Luke Graham, 17, Ben Bradshaw, and 18, Nathaniel Rowe Turner. Your subs this afternoon are 7, Lyndon Meikle, 12, Dion Kelly Evans, 14, Marcus Kelly, 19, Craig Stanley, and 20 Joe Massaro. So quite a few changes from last week. Aaron O'Connor is ill. Dan Holman has a slight injury, and Rhys Honus he's being rested, I think, this afternoon. Hopefully we'll get Rhys upstairs on commentary with us so we can have a chat with him as we go along. And it is Barwell against us. They line up with Liam Castle in goal, Jai Rowe 2, Elliot Putman 3, Elliot Percival 4, ex-Poppy Henry Eze 5, 6s, Nigel Julian 7, Dominic Brownhill 8, Alex Tompkinson 9, Jamie Towers 10, Brady Hickey, and 11 Samuel Hollis. So that's your starting lineups. Referee is Robbie Dadley. So getting ready now to see the champions walk out. As I say, at the end of the game, we're presented with a trophy, and it should be a good afternoon. So I am going to getting some weird signs here from. So Ed is staying upstairs at the moment, and I'll be going up there in a few moments. To a bit of a delay. Not to worry. As I say, it looks beautiful out there, and hopefully we'll be able to get a Kettering Town win. Kettering really need 3 points so that they can overhaul Weymouth's challenge. We'd rather be playing Weymouth in the Championship Shield here at Latimer Park rather than having to travel down to the Bob Lucas Stadium down there in Weymouth. Well, I'm going to join Ed Palmer in a few moments. I'll be leaving you, and that will be it really from Poppy's TV in the studio until the game against Stratford. We'll be there at AFC Rushden Diamonds, but for now, good afternoon.
Well, thank you, Mr. Paul Cook. And here come the teams out onto the pitch, including Guard of Honour by Barwell. And there's a healthy crowd here. And Guard of Honour, as I said, by Barwell and by the match officials as well for the champions, as Paul White comes out and is applauding. All of them are applauding the crowd. And it's a lovely warm afternoon, and I've been joined up on the gantry by Mr. Paul Cook.
Good afternoon, Ed. Marvellous, isn't it? I can see on my right-hand side, there's a bar.
There is a bar. We haven't visited it, have we?
Well, it's going to spoil us, this is, isn't it? I'm not sure what to commentate on the game or the bar, because there's some very nice people working behind it.
Yeah, well done to them, actually. I turned up at the ground about halfway through the preparations of them getting it all sorted, and it was a mammoth job, and they've got it all sorted in time. And also, the beer is cold as well. It's not warm beer, is it? It's actually quite cold.
It is, and for once, Ed and I are having some refreshment up here in the on the gantry. Very, very rare indeed we can do this. A, it's too cold normally, and B, there's never normally a bar behind us.
It's usually quite a long way away, isn't it? But no, we are in party mode here at Latimer Park. It's Barwell playing in a green strip with yellow socks, and Kettering in red and black shorts and red socks. Everyone is getting ready to go. The Kettering players are coming over to do their pre-match warm-ups, as they do every game, as they have done every game of this championship winning season. Coming across the pitch now is also Dan Holman, who is here in normal clothes, in his joggers and shirt. He's got a slight hamstring strain, which is why he's not being risked today. Aaron O'Connor is out with an illness, and Rhys Honus is resting as he's played the majority of the games this season. I think he deserves a rest after this game. It's not a very attacking Kettering side, but it is a Kettering side full of players that are more than capable of doing the job that is required of them. Kettering, of course, will not just be here to make up the numbers and give a run out to a few players. They will want to put on a show for the Kettering fans that have come out to celebrate and have a party today and lift the trophy with a win as well, as the mascots are getting their photos taken. But what are we expecting from Kettering? As I say, it's not going to be a lie down and roll over performance, is it? Despite the fact that there's quite a few players out there that wouldn't usually start.
Well, exactly right. It's a very, very changed side from the side that played against Hales Owen, and gives one or two players a chance to shine and get another game under their belt. People like James Brighton making his first start of the season. Toseland making a rare start. It is also Ben Bradshaw a rare start. Luke Graham for a rare start. So it gives those players some game time. Salcombe back in there for a full 90 minutes. And I think it's a good idea with the big game on Monday coming up as well. Don't want to risk too many players before that game. And of course, it's going to be party time after whatever happens anyway. But hopefully, we'll see a decent game of football. It's a beautiful afternoon. Marcus Law has just walked by us.
He's in a suit, isn't he, today?
He's in a suit. Yeah, I didn't know he owned one. That he does. And no banana, though, today, or grapes or other fruit.
He wouldn't want to spill it down his suit.
Well, of course not, no. But he's there. We're hoping to get one of the players up for a bit of a summary during the afternoon. We'll let you know on that. It could be Rhys Honus, it could be Dan Holman, it might be Ollie Burgess. Oh no, he's left, hasn't he?
Yes, it's not Ollie Burgess.
Not Ollie Burgess, but there we are. So yeah, a good crowd. We'll give you the figure later, but I think there's over 1,000 here, to be honest.
Over 1,000. And to our right, you can't see, obviously the camera is there. We've got Aaron O'Connor and Rhys Honus, along with...
I'm not sure who that one is. It looks like Mike Tyson.
It's a very strong man, isn't it?
Not a Kettering Town player, I don't think, but there you go. So the Ice Lodge mascots leave the field with Phil Wade after their afternoon, and Champa the Lion is there. We're almost ready to start the penultimate game of the season here at Latimer Park. Kettering will be kicking from left to right in a traditional red and black stripes. You can buy a gnome apparently online now with Kettering colours if you indeed wish to have one of those in your garden. We're sponsored by the Exiles today, and welcome to those. And it's Barwell to start proceedings. Referee just checking with the linesman and the goalkeepers that everything's right, checking with the weather. And Gary Graham getting the fans wound up. And away we go. It is Hickey with the ball for the visitor straight away. Feeds it through to Hollis. And the first foul by Richards on Hollis.
Seconds.
Within 4 seconds, yes. Hasn't been
booked.
Well,
sorry, can I just point out who is playing as a striker today?
Well, that's going to be an interesting
Brett
one, isn't
Salcombe.
it? It's going to be Brett and Ben Milnes, I think.
Well, Brett Salcombe was the man who started the game at the head of the team. So he has been a striker. He's played every position in the past, but
well, even in goal, I remember him.
Yes, he's been in goal a couple of times. Free kick comes in. That is, well, it's just gone over within the first minute, and that's a poor effort. Wanted to get on the score sheet quite quickly.
Well, I'm not sure what their goalkeeper's doing. It looks quite obscene from here.
He was, yes, it was an interesting pose, wasn't it, that the goalkeeper was doing. That was Liam Castle. But Paul White has the ball. He's placed it on the edge of his 6-yard box. And yeah, Brett Salcombe is certainly the man who's spearheading that forward line at the moment. Oh, the ball has just rolled off the spot that Paul White wanted it on. So he replaces it. Obviously quite a hard ground today. Not a lot of moisture in it. Kick has gone towards Salcombe. Salcombe loses that out, and Henry Eze does what we've seen him do so often in the Kettering shirt. Absolutely thump that ball with a header back to the goalkeeper.
He's a fair old size, isn't he? We said this.
He seems to have actually got bigger.
He does since Stamford, isn't it? I mean, when we were there, he was a tower there, but certainly he's either on form or off it, and it's Brighton going to get there. But no, it is Castle comes out. He's been checked by Brighton. Queen to Rook 4, I think, is the cry. He rolls the ball out in front of him.
Yeah, it's certainly it's a 4. I don't know.
5, isn't it?
No, because Richards is there. Oh, no, it is a 5. Yeah. No, you're right. You've got Storer right back.
It's a 5-3-2, isn't it? I think.
Graham Towers, Rowe Turner centre halves. Toseland left back. You've then got a midfield of... No, it's a 5-4-1. Midfield of... Oh, unless Ben Milnes is up front. And then it's a midfield of Richards, Bradshaw and Brighton. And then Milnes and Solkin up front. I think it's a 4, and Milnes is dropping in at right midfield, and Solkin's the man at the front.
The lone striker is Brett Solkin on 114 career goals. It's a good through ball almost. It is now, but it is back with Paul White. It was Hollis and Hickey who put the challenges in, but Paul White bowls the ball out to Storer. Storer plays it to Milnes. Milnes gets checked by Towers. He plays it through, and it comes off Storer, but Tompkinson has got the ball off Storer down by the corner flag, plays it back to Julian. Julian takes a couple of touches, plays it forward to Putman. He plays it square to the number 7, plays a shot. Paul White spills it, takes a dive, there's Hickey, puts it in, and into the side netting. Well, that was a bit of a scare there for the Poppies.
It was, yeah. It was a horrible bouncing ball towards Paul White. He actually did quite well to just get something on it, but he palmed it straight out into play again. And thankfully the rebound was into the side netting.
So first advantage to the Canaries, the proper Canaries if John Dunham's listening, rather than that shout from Norfolk. We can say that, can't we?
We can, although they managed to dig themselves out of trouble yesterday, I hear. Only just. Otherwise, they'd be bottom the league as Luke Graham puts the ball up into the air. Storer's not going to get there. It bounces and is then just putting his body in the way. Clipped forward. Towers should win the header. Does, flicks it to Roturner, who gets enough on it back to Paul White, who looks for an option. Tell you what, we've still not worked out why a Roturner is called Snoop.
No, he's not come in for an interview to actually ask about that. We will try and find that out for some time. It's pumped forward towards Towers, our Towers, who heads it to Richards. Richards gets to it first, but it is Putman. He wins the ball. Graham comes in and actually connects, but the referee says play on. It is Hickey with the ball to Towers, and it's on the far side. Shot comes in over Paul White, and the number 3 Putman is limping around after that late challenge by Luke Graham. Another chance though for Barwell. Of course, Barwell, our manager Marcus Law's one of his former sides, and he'll want to put on a decent show for them. Just looking at
the bar's getting quite a bit of custom, isn't it?
It is, yes. So I think it's a good idea personally, but so close to the
yes
gantry. But you're not missing much. Paul White yet to take this goal kick in all green. He sliced it slightly. It's coming towards Solkin. Solkin beaten to it by Putman, and Graham gets there, but Henry Hise is playing the head tennis. Gives it to Milnes, a chase for Brighton. Out comes Castle, who waits for the ball to go into the area, and he bowls the ball out to Elliot Putman here on this left-hand side. He turns, beats Ben Milnes, right-footed, now left-footed, back to the goalkeeper. It's a bit of a slice there. Goalkeeper takes a heavy touch. He's in the penalty area. He's just outside of it now. Plays a long ball, trying to find Hollis. It finds Towers instead, but interception and a wave by Bradshaw to Milnes, and offside is Brett Solkin. Good movement though.
Was good movement considering how old he is. But, it's one of those situations where Brett Solkin actually was a little bit too quick for the centre half, if you can imagine.
I was going to say, that's an interesting one, isn't it? But, so free kick then that Castle is going to take. Pumps it into Kettering's area. Storer underneath it, chests it down, does well. Pumps the ball forward for Solkin. Wins the header, but it goes straight to Castle and danger averted. 0-0 here at Latimer Park. Sunny Latimer Park, we don't say that very often. Everybody in shirt sleeves and shorts and skirts, and that's just the men. But
our producer just making sure everything's okay and that we're all correctly hydrated. But here comes oh, that's a great little leave, and Barwell are attacking again on the right hand side. Oh, it's a slip, and Solkin wanted it played through. He's going to calm it down to Ben Milnes. Milnes now plays the run. Solkin hadn't gone, and it goes through to Liam Castle. Be interesting to see where goals are coming from this game for Kettering.
Well, yes, Lee Solkin's there for a penalty if it comes down to that, but Towers heads the ball on. Our Towers leaves it. It's hooked away by Roe Turner, and Putman wins the ball. Solkin underneath it, but beaten to it, and away comes Putman on this left-hand side. Plays the ball over. Roe Turner gets ahead to it. There is Toseland beaten to it. Roe Turner hooks the ball away. Only Solkin up front with Eze. Eze wins it. Only to Bradshaw, though. Bradshaw beaten to it by Putman, and away comes Hickey. Hickey squares the ball over on the far side to Joe Rowe. He puts in a ball. Out comes Paul White, easily taken. And again, danger averted as White almost clashing with the Barwell colours, actually.
Yeah, thankfully it's a darker green than Barwell, who are in a... What green would you call that for Barwell? It's not lime green. It's not quite light enough. Well, yes, it is still green, but...
sickly green, I think we'll call it. Ball with Liam Castle. Again, you're missing nothing here. It's Castle kicking the ball out high on the far side. Toseland's underneath this. He wins it. Back header, though, from Toseland. Doesn't go his way. Roe Turner has to react and puts the ball out of play for a throw-in on the far side by the little stand, if you've been to Latimer Park, over there. So... Barwell then with the ball, intercepted by Brighton. Brighton squares it to Richards. Now Richards has got a bit of space to move. He puts the ball forward for Solkin, but Eze allows the ball to Castle. He's at his area. He hoofs the ball high. Bradshaw underneath it, beaten to it. Toseland heads the ball to Roe Turner. Roe Turner to Richards. He turns, plays it wide and square to Storer on this left-hand side. He plays it back to Mills. Mills flicks it to Solkin. Nobody with Solkin, though. Plays it back to Richards. Ground very hard. A good ball there, though. And Brighton now, what can he do? He's getting a start for the first time this season. Might try a chip. It's a poor one, though. And straight into Castle's hands as Solkin looks on in despair behind a packed Brian Martin pallet stand. That's £5 extra.
£5 each.
Each. Marvellous. Just going over to check the facilities down here. And
yep, still working.
It's still working. Not getting much joy of people coming up to offer us anything.
No, it's a bit rude, really.
It's a bit rude, isn't it? But Julian puts the ball through. Their Story flicks it back. Graham has to react quickly, does so, trying to find Brighton. And the bounce allows the ball to go out as Percival just shepherds it as a throw-in on the far side to Barwell. Of course, Kettering won the fixture at Barwell 1-0. That was a goal scored by Rhys Honus.
Thank goodness we weren't against some of these northern teams.
Pardon?
Thank goodness we weren't against some of these northern teams.
Yeah, we were. I can't say there what I was going to say, but there we are.
There were 2 red cards within the first sort of 10 minutes.
Linda Meikle was off for Kettering very early doors, wasn't he? And
yeah, it was a feisty affair.
Not on the pitch as well, but off it in the facilities as well, wasn't it? It was a bit of banter. That's all we shall say on that one. Anyway, it's a head out by Towers, finds Bradshaw. Bradshaw plays it back to Toseland. Toseland a poor wide ball out for a throw-in. Trying to find Brighton, but it didn't reach him. It goes for a throw-in, taken quickly. It is Brownhill with it. He plays it back to Julian. Intercepted, and Richards gets the ball, but it's taken away from him. Milnes can't get there. And Barwell get the ball back on this bouncy, hard surface. Flicking it through, headed by Luke Graham. Solkin is there. He's in there instead of in front of Julian. Loses the ball, though. And Brownhill plays it back to Castle in a sky blue number. Sort of looking very, very dashing in this number with his white gloves. Plays the ball forward. Graham underneath it, but Towers got the better of it. Poor work there, and that looks like a handball. Nothing given. Hickey with it, tries it. Blocked by Luke Graham. Ben Milnes chasing it. It's going to be a Barwell throw from a ricochet. Tomkinson with it. He leaves it. Tomkinson school days. Wasn't that ripping yarns? I'm sure it was.
You are talking way too early for me. That's a great ball in, by the way. Oh, it's bounced off Roe Turner's hands-ish. I think it was it looked like it had come off his arm, but his arm was so close to his body that it counts as a chest. Yes, Tottenham do get away with it. They can score from those, and apparently it counts. So,
well, Harry Kane can claim it, can't he?
Well, yeah. Depends whether we've got VAR today or not.
We have. Very average referee.
It is very much that atmosphere around Latimer Park today, just having a laugh. Everyone out in the sunshine having a couple of drinks and waiting for the party, isn't it, really?
Barnsley United, wasn't it? With
Why
ripping
are we
yarns.
still talking about this?
It's
Goal
marvellous game.
comes forward straight
Well, not
to
lots happening on the pitch.
Paul White. Admittedly, you aren't missing a lot.
Storer then is attempted forward pass is cut out by Towers. That's Jamie Towers, who played 13 minutes for the Poppies at Rockingham Road. That was his career over.
Well, some players make an impact in 13 minutes.
They do, that's why I mentioned it.
Thank you. Yeah, Tom Knowles, the 13-minute man.
The 13-minuters, a pump forward there by Bradshaw, chested down by Solkin. Nobody with Solkin, and
That's gone.
he can't control it. It goes out for a throw-in, and it's going to be a throw-in here. It's back with Castle from Putman. Castle gets the ball away for the visitors, aiming towards Towers, but it goes to Storer. Storer just hooks it, and that's coming towards our dugout. Marcus Law doesn't do a very good trap there, does he? I mean, dear, oh dear, I thought it had trapped that juggle. They didn't put it back, but it's a throw-in anyway to Barwell. Towers heads it on. Cut out by Richards, who loses it to Towers. Towers does well, squares it. It's back with Julian, under pressure from Bradshaw, but Julian wins the battle out the two, puts a forward ball through, and Paul White comes out, intercepts. And
It almost feels like a friendly.
It does.
Doesn't it? It's nice weather.
Yeah.
Two teams who
The
have got
only
nothing
difference
to
is
play for.
there's a crowd in.
Well, yes, but, you know, two teams who've got very little to play for. Kettering have won the league. Barwell are mid-table and are going to stay there. So it's almost as if both of these teams haven't got much to do. Ben Bradshaw tries a long shot and is about 25 yards wide right of the goal. But, you know, it's set up nicely for him.
Yeah, at least he's had a go, hasn't he? And we haven't seen too much of that. And, yeah, I'm just looking at two older fans down there. We have Dave Talby and we have Vlad the Impaler, who are at our bar on here on the right-hand side.
Nice to see them. It's our bar, yes.
Yes. So Castle with the goal kick. They haven't been served yet, but it is Castle with it. Playing it long. Towers underneath it. Comes off Richards. That's going to go for a throw-in on the halfway line. It's going to be taken by Julian, who's pinched a few yards. He throws the ball back, though, to the halfway line to Putman. Putman, again, pinches a few yards. Won by Towers. Cleared by Rowe Turner. Goes high towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw's head. Brighton can't get there. Julian can. And the number 8, Tompkinson, brought down by Richards. And that will be a free kick just inside the Barwell half. And
I'm going to hand you over to Richard Atkinson, who's going to. What have you got for us, Rich? What do you need us to do as fans?
Well, as you know, I've always got something that we're looking for. Just going to watch this free kick come in, and Paul White holds on to it brief. Well, yeah, the Tin Hat Fund, everybody should know about that by now. And we've been taking a load of money in today. We've filled up our first board of sponsors, which has raised £2,500. We've opened up the second one, and we've already filled a quarter of it just from people coming to see us today. So you can look online on the Poppies Trust website, poppiestrust.co.uk, find all the details there. We are, I think, about £6,500 on the fund now. So.
Well, it's Barwell under the attack. It's cut out by Luke Graham, who screws the ball. It's a header by Towers, weak header. Paul White comes out, easily takes it. So 0-0 here at Latimer Park. You'll listen to Poppy's TV audio with myself and the crew. And we'll be at AFC Rusden and Diamonds on Easter Monday. That interesting Fisher ball played through. Solkin can't get there. He's beaten to it. Away come Barwell. Offside flag as Towers, our Towers goes down. The number 11, Hollis, leaves the ball rather than get it, so Paul White has to come out of his goal mouth, go down to the corner flag to retrieve the ball, which he does. Yeah, Ed was saying a bit like a pre-season friendly. I suppose there is an element to it, isn't there?
There is a little bit. I mean, you know, Kettering have already won the league. Barwell got nothing to play for, and the sun is blazing down here. So you get the feeling that they're just saving themselves a little bit because they could quite easily burn out very quickly otherwise. And the lineup is a little bit unfamiliar for Kettering, so we're still trying to get to grips with that.
Storer has allowed that one to go out. It's the first quarter of the game, and it's Kettering going to get this corner. James Brighton, and we know in the past they've got a very deft foot to get the ball over. Not sure who's going to be in there. Very unusual lineup for Kettering Town this afternoon. It's a corner to Kettering on the right-hand side. In comes Brighton now. It's a good corner, comes in towards Richens. He allows it to go back to Toseland. Barwell coming it out. Toseland on the far side. Puts one in. It comes off the number 7, and that's a throw into Kettering by the turnstile over there on the far side. New ball required is the signal from referee Dadley. Ball has now reappeared, or a new ball has reappeared. It will be a Kettering Town throw-in. Only 2 up front really for Kettering now. That's Salkin and Brighton. Very unusual lineup for the Poppies, but
yeah, it's strange to see Mr. Eze in the middle there in the wrong-coloured shirt as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be Toseland with it. He finds Bradshaw, back to Toseland, takes a touch, finds Milnes, back with Toseland. It's very tight for Kettering. He puts the left footer in. There's Salkin, and that goes over the bar and took a deflection. Another corner to Kettering, this time on the far side by the turnstile. So Kettering applying the pressure slightly with this unusual lineup. It's Ben Milnes going to take this one. And
Roturner and Towers both going into the box now. So
Milnes comes in low. There's Salkin. It comes out. Storer might try a long range. It does, and that's more akin to Franklin Gardens as it knocks a squirrel out of a tree over the Morrison's end. And I think the moon would have been more in danger than Liam Castle. But there we have it. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, didn't quite get his head over that one and just spooned it over the bar, unfortunately.
22 minutes gone in this first half. It's 0-0 here. Neither side really imposing themselves in this game. Nothing for anybody in this game really, just a celebration for the Poppies, but I'm sure they want to put on a show. And Barwell will try to disrupt that show as they come away with the ball, intercepted by Luke Graham. Graham finds Milnes. Milnes in Kettering's area, goes over the halfway line. He's got Salkin with him. Only Salkin. The ball's put through, but it's a poor ball. And Castle comes out, bowls the ball out on the far side to Jay Rowe, and he has a bit of a space. Finds Brownhill. Brownhill. The number 8 here is on Mark Tompkinson. He hasn't seen him and plays a wayward ball that Towers Declan puts out for a throw-in on the far side. Any score lines at all, Richard?
Don't know. I'll check them out for you very shortly.
Marvellous. There's a throw-in then on the far side. It is Brownhill, but Toseland intercepts. There's only Salkin up front. Eze is there. Used to be team members. Eze does well and comes away with the ball. Passes it to Julian on the halfway, and he flicks it to Hollis. Hollis down to Brownhill. And Brownhill has to play it back in his own half. He finds Percival, who lumps the ball forward, but Roturner is there. It comes off his chest, has to hook the ball away, stop it going for a corner, under pressure from Jamie Towers, and it goes out for a Barwell throw-in. So as I say, Barwell have won 3 of their last 6 games. They've drawn 2 and lost just the 1. They had that impressive 5-1 win against Alvechurch, who drew 3-3 last night at Stourbridge after going 2-0 up and scoring a goal in the 97 minutes to equalise as Ben Milnes comes away with the ball. Ben Milnes in Kettering's half flicks it through for the youthful Salkin to chase, but the youthful Eze gets there first and plays it to Castle. He traps the ball and out it goes. Roturner beaten to it. Jamie Towers, it's Declan Towers and Jamie Towers. The twin Towers, we can say, can't we? I had to get it in somewhere, didn't I?
I'm comparing Latimer Park to the old Wembley is possibly not the best comparison I've come across recently, but
I was thinking more of 9/11.
And I was trying to dig you out of the hole, but there we go.
Well, we've just dug it deeper. But it is a free kick when we come back after our Towers was fouled by their Towers, and Paul White takes the goal kick. Solkin flicks it on here. There's Jace Brighton. It comes out, and Castle has to react, and he can only react by slicing the ball out for a corner as my co-commentator comes back with a glass of lemonade. Hasn't offered me one, but someone owed him a glass of lemonade, but it's going to be it's going to be a corner to Kettering on the far side again. Ben Mills with it, and still 0-0 here at Latimer Park. In comes the corner from Mills. It's an outswinger, headed out. Volley here from Toseland. He hits it high and low, and that was a good effort. That was only a foot over the goal. He volleyed it. That would have been spectacular if that had gone in. And of course, Ben Toseland has scored a couple of classic goals in his short career with the Poppers. One at Farnborough, I remember, and one down here as well. But a good strike and a good purpose shot there from young Ben Toseland, getting a rare start. But still 0-0. And I'm looking at Neil Griffin, who's waving back. I got two other digits as well.
That's certainly Kettering's best effort so far in the game.
It is, but away come away come Barwell now with Hickey. It's going to be a chance here for the number 8. He's going to turn, has to play the ball back. No, still with it is Tompkinson. Has to play it out wide, does so, gets it to Julian. In comes the ball, cut out by Roe Turner, and then Brighton, and then cleared by Bradshaw, and that will be a throw-in in the Barwell half on the far side by the Burger van. 0-0 here, and just looking to see what's going on over here. Yes, the bar is very, very busy behind us here. Good idea, good initiative from everybody here at Kettering to get another drinks bar. Headed on by Barwell. Luke Graham cuts it out. Graham again does well under pressure. Still Luke Graham flicks it through to Ben Mills. Ben Mills now just over the halfway line. He's got Storer, who's now overlapping. Doesn't use him. Plays it towards Brighton. Brighton turns, flicks the ball through. A good ball to Storer. Storer takes a touch back to Ben Mills to Brighton. Brighton loses the ball though, and a foul on Brighton by Brownhill, who doesn't look happy with that decision. Results in a free kick on this right-hand side. It's quite a way out though. It won't be a direct shot on target, but it's towards the Brian Martins pallet stand. Another £5, please, Brian. And it is at an angle, so it'll be a left-footed outswinger, I would think. Jamie Towers, Declan Towers, and Ezair are all there. So referee's blown the whistle. In it comes now. Good ball, but nobody towards it. Goalkeeper comes out, clears it, and Declan Towers is fouled by Jamie Towers again. And of course, going down on this surface won't be very nice. It's bone hard out there. No rain, of course, and no sliding tackles this afternoon are going to prove to be valid, are they, on this surface?
No, it's more sort of desert come beach affair than a nice green field. But
yeah, I went on there before the game and I couldn't get the key in, so it might be taking spin in around 20 minutes if we're lucky, as Ben Mills under pressure here. Got to be careful. Have to play the ball back to Paul White. Paul White comes and gets it as the advancing number 11. Hollis was breathing down his neck. It's a throw-in to Kettering on the far side. Mills loses the ball. Barwell under attack. Towers goes down. Richards squares the ball here. Solkin's there, but it's won by Putman. Heads it back to the Barwell number 8, Tompkinson. And Hollis loses the ball. Play on, says the referee, as Storer now gets a chance. There's Eddie Solkin in the penalty area. They got Mills on his right-hand side. Plays it towards Solkin. Solkin back header, though. And that's going to be a throw-in to Barwell on the far side. Not much on there, though, for Kettering. They didn't really do anything. And it resulted in a throw-in. Marcus Law not happy with the the Kettering approach at the moment.
He did. Storer did have the opportunity to play it on the floor to James Brighton, who was asking for it in the middle there. It would have been 25 yards out and have a look at goal, but he chose to put it long and high towards Salkin.
So it's a throw in to Barwell on the far side. We've just been joined by Rhys Honus, whose goal sealed the championship last week. He's up here being rested today. Welcome, Rhys. Nice to see you up here.
Thank you. Been not a bad week, has it?
Been a very, very good week for Kettering fans, and yourself in particular. Must have enjoyed it last weekend.
Yeah, 100%. It was definitely one of the better weeks I've had in football, and then to be here from the start and against Hitchin and be able to win that 1-0 and I scored, and then to be able to clinch it with another 1-0 and another goal, I was definitely very happy.
It is Barwell on the far side who have the ball. It's gone out for a throw-in. How do you see this game so far? It's been a bit of a non-event at the moment, isn't it? A lot of changes, though, isn't there?
There is a lot of changes. I think Gaffer's got an eye on Rushden on Monday, and feels a little bit like a pre-season game, but I fancy us to get a goal, and then maybe that might kick some life into the game.
How are you? You're not injured? Just been rested?
No, I'm not injured. I feel fine. It was I kind of knew the other day that I was going to be rested for the Rushden game, and just top our season off where we can go there and try and get a win.
Well, Ben Toseland comes away with the ball. He streaks by his push, but it goes out for a goal kick. I thought we were going to see one of those mazy runs of his that we had at Farnborough a season or so ago, but it's still 0-0. Liam Castle with the ball. Yeah, it's been a great season for Kettering. It's going to be a difficult one next season. We don't talk about that too much yet, but looking forward to it already?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a lot tougher, of course. I think, I'm not sure on the numbers exactly, but compared to the Conference South, for example, I think there's at least double the amount of full-time teams in that league. So to have in that league is a very strong league. And
well, Brett Salkin there adjudged to be offside. I thought that Henry Ise's stomach just edged it personally, but it was given as offside as the old men of the both teams, Brett and Henry.
Played against him at the start of the season somewhere.
Yeah, Stamford.
Oh yeah, that was the one.
Because he's a former Kettering player. Is Henry scored some classic goals a few seasons ago for the club. One in the final against Slough and the semi-final against Daventry, so he knows Latimer Park very well. Castle plays the ball in. Paul White comes out and goes down with it under pressure. Paul White only needs a couple more clean sheets to equal last season's 21. And speaking to him earlier, I know he wants to achieve that again. He puts the ball out towards Brighton and Toseland. Toseland stands a chance, but I think Rowe will get there before him. And it comes off Toseland. Which game do you think really was the one that you said, yes, I think this could be our season? Was that at Stourbridge or was it against Diamonds when you got the header in?
No, that was obviously my favourite one. I think the Stourbridge, we all knew that it was going to be a tough year, and I think the start that Kings Lynn had, we knew it was going to be between us and Kings Lynn pretty much, and the start that Kings Lynn had made it a lot easier, and then Stourbridge, fair play to them, they stayed with us a lot of the way, but we always made sure it was in our hands to lose, and when we done that, we
just a couple of shock results, really. The one against St Ives down here, which was a real shock, lose that one 3-0.
Yeah, it was. It was just one of those games, really, wasn't it? Like, nothing really went for us the right way, and they deserved to beat us on the day. And I think Holes, he got sent off quite early, didn't he? And what was the other one? There was
lost at Alchurch.
Banbury, that was a terrible one.
Away from home, wasn't it?
4-0, 4-1 or something like that. So
back to 1-1 though, weren't we, at one point? I thought at 1-1 that we were actually going to do something in that game after Holman had got us back into it. But but let's talk about the more positives. I mean, some of the last-minute winners have been absolutely fantastic for players. It must be superb.
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a lot like that at the start of last year, but it's just demoralising as the other team. We had Hereford in our league last year, and they just kept scoring winner after winner, and I think it's going to go through here.
Ben Milnes with the ball. He's in the Barwell half. He's played it square towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw looks up, plays it wide, but it's a poor ball. And Storer has to come back for it, which he does. He's got Brighton with him. He plays it to Brighton. Brighton plays it back to Storer, pumps it forward, but Julian wins that. Intercepted by Ben Milnes. Cut out, though, by the number 6 again. Put in and it's gone a bit scrappy, but away
Yeah.
come Barwell towards Jamie Towers. Luke Graham is there. He finds Tompkinson, though. Graham all over, but it's been a foul on Graham. Tompkinson can't believe it. Quick one taken. Bradshaw pumps it forward towards the youthful Brett Solcombe. Eze with it. He spoons it high, and a foul on Eze by Brett. And, well, I was being ironic.
30, what is he, 36 years young?
Yeah, 114 goals for the club. And, you know, he's your goal tally this season, leading goal scorer. That must be a delight.
Yeah, it is. It's not bad. Brett's always given me some stick about it, but the team, because he's on 16 and he's not scored as many, but I think a lot of these are coming
without your goals,
cup
I mean,
goals.
it would have been a bit of a struggle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was speaking to Richie in there, and it was always going to be tough when we had Westy, Craig Westcar at the start of the season, and
strange one that, wasn't it?
yeah, we hear from pre-season that didn't work out, and then obviously Azza being injured, we didn't have Dan Holman. He come to me and said about playing up front, and I've not done it before, but could be on a break here actually.
So Brighton with a break here plays it to the far side. It's chested down by Toseland. He plays it back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw heads it down. It's cut out by Barwell, and that's a throw in by the halfway line. Richard Lavery plays a delightful ball to Store, throw in to Bradshaw. Bradshaw back, and that's a good tackle by the number 7. There's a bit of interest here. It's Brownhill, but Richards pumps it forward, headed on by Putman. Cut out by Richards, but it's only going to find Rowe on the far side. Rowe with a bit of space now, but he might have to play the ball back. Doesn't. Plays it forward towards Hollis. Hollis turns under pressure from Rowe Turner, and a foul by Turner on Hollis. Midway in the Barwell Kettering half on the far side by the Chris George banner. That's £5 again, Chris, for mentioning your name. Ready for next season. Referee Dadwell is taking it out, and it looks like Ben Mills taking a drink from a fan.
But yeah, to score those goals, and at the start of the season when there was no other strikers around, it was great for the team, and we needed it. And we never really looked back from that. We was never. Remember, we had a couple bad results, but other than that, we was always safe.
And just so that you can hear that it is Colville 1, AFC Rushden and Diamonds 0. And a surprise one here also is that Lowestoft 2, Stratford 0. So those are the latest scores that are in there. Biggleswade 1, Halesowen 0, Royston 1, Rushhall 0. No score from St Neots and Kings Lynn. I don't think it's kicked off yet, but there we are. So we can't find that score at the moment, but the goal against Diamonds, let's talk us through that one. I mean, I've watched that 1,000 times.
I think I've definitely seen it a few. I've put it on my Twitter somewhere, but no, it was a great moment, especially when we went 1-0 down.
Good full ball here through Solkin, but it's cut out by Putman. But Toseland wins it through. Now Toseland, if you found the ball towards Solkin, there's Solkin, 1-0. Oh, it's gone by the post. It came off the goalkeeper. I thought that was going to go in.
So
I
close.
called it like David Coleman. Thought
So
it was
close.
1-0, and it should have been. Do you think that should have been?
It should have been. Definitely should have scored here.
At least you can rib him about that one.
No, I can. But that's still. I think he's still about 4 behind me. So hopefully he stays. Well, I hope he gets one today and we win 1-0.
Well, that was a gifted chance there. He'd only got to beat the goalkeeper, and he did, but it came off the goalkeeper's legs and spooned away. I thought it was going to creep
yards,
in.
Isn't it?
6 yards, yeah. I mean, even at my age, I think I could have got that one in. But it's a corner to the Poppies from that. It is James at Brighton with it. In it comes near post, headed on and out by Barwell. That's going to go for a corner on the far side. That's the best chance for either team this afternoon. It fell Kettering's way, and the Kettering Angel this time was more of Satan by missing that opportunity, but there we are. That's football for you, Reese, and I'm sure he'll make amends for that as Richards comes away with the ball. He's got 2 around him, beats 1, beats 2, loses it out though, and can't get it back as it is Julian who wins that, and I think Rachel wants to come on and do some commentary. Getting a bit of stick there.
She is always.
There we are. So yes, quite a change in the team, isn't it? I mean, when we read it out earlier on, there's quite a lot of changes.
Oh yeah, of
from
course.
last week.
You got Bright obviously on there. He's not played a lot of football this year, and it's good to see him back. Really, he's had a tough year, isn't he? Since from when I joined last year, he started the first few games and then had a knee injury, and then we never see him again. And then Tozen hasn't got probably the football he wanted. He went on loan to St Ives. Good tackle there. But yeah, he went on loan to St Ives, and he hasn't got a lot of games. But seeing as we've won it early, it's nice to for them to go and get minutes. They've been a big part of obviously training and being around the squad. And they're always great.
How's the spirit been though with the players that haven't?
Yeah, they've
featured?
been great, because when you're doing successful, the team picks itself pretty much. So when you're not, when you are winning, it's okay to just keep going pretty much.
Well, in come Barwell here with Brownhill, flicks it through and it goes wide of Paul White. Just seen that Colville have gone 2-0 up against AFC Rushden Diamonds. That's such a shame, isn't it? As both teams are going to miss out, I think, on playoffs. And of course, we're at Hayden Road on Monday against our rivals. Well, I say rivals, we've only played them twice. But,
would have been nice to play them actually if they had something to play for.
Yeah,
that would have been nice. But those games end. Even if we won the league and they're not end up getting playoffs, I'm sure there'll still be quite a bit of bite about it anyway.
Yep, there we go. It's in, and Ize's all over Salkin, nothing given, and headed out. Marcus Law not happy with that decision from Dudley. Dudley having a little grin and clapping Marcus Law. But he was all over Brett Salkin, nicked his wallet, so he won't be buying a round later. It is Hitchens flick the ball through, but
Buy more rounds than Brett.
have you seen the wallet?
Oh, it's the tightest man I've ever met.
I'm glad you said that, because I've been saying that for a few seasons.
Good.
But
I've never seen anything like it.
Julian goes all the way through here, beaten by Luke Graham. Luke Graham calms it down, gets the ball to Ben Mills. He finds Brighton on the halfway line. Back now, Toseland, bit heavy there for Toseland and cut out by Percival. And another chance for Kettering going here, and and Reese departs for the time being. Thank you, Reese, for your comments. Thumbs up. Ed Palmer's back with us. Nice to get the views and thoughts of Reese, leading goal scorer, and I'm sure he'll be in that Player of the Year award somewhere. He said, I hope I voted for him. Well, you'll find out that one on the night, but we shall see. It's a free kick in a dangerous area for Kettering. Barwell just outside the penalty area, and a good... a good... What?
Reece Owens was asking if he could vote for himself twice.
Well, he may have to, but it is on the
I don't know,
edge.
You know, I think Isian is a great shout.
I think you're right. But it is a free kick. This is dangerous. 4 men in the wall.
It won't be.
Brownhill is over it. This is the first decent chance for Barwell. In it comes over the wall. Paul White, and he catches it at the near post. Danger averted, and still 0-0 into the last 5 minutes or so of this first half. Yep, long ball. It's gone straight to Castle from Paul White as the.
Look at the beers they've got ready on the bar behind us. You can't.
Oh yeah, the way that's been served. What a tremendous.
About 7 beers ready.
Lovely formation, isn't it?
Playing a flat back 7 at the moment.
Flat 7.
You're missing nothing on the pitch as Barwell have a bit of a mix-up as Henry Eze uses his strength to go past 2 players, and then that is absolutely thwacked forward to an offside player, the number 11. So, free kick for Kettering. Be halfway inside their own half. It's an offside decision, and must be nice being in this situation, knowing that Kettering can pretty much do whatever they want, and they're still going to be champions. Oh, and our cameraman has got a
that's a trip hazard, isn't it?
A loose
risk assessment
shoelace.
And get the old sign out there. Don't stand near this man; he might fall over. Health
Absolutely
and safety personified.
Any money to watch him fall over whilst his camera work. Well, not over the edge. No, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Paul White then with this kick halfway in the half, plays it long towards Salcombe, but that goes straight out of play, and that will be a throw-in. And quite an uneventful game, really. Kettering having the best chance through, said Salcombe, who should have scored from 6 yards, but it came off the keeper and just went for a corner. Barwell really haven't threatened Kettering, and I said it's more like a pre-season friendly. Certainly the weather's superb, isn't it? And we got a good view here also.
Of the bar, yes.
Of the bar.
so we can work out whether there's a queue or not, so we can go and get a drink.
Well, yes.
We could put an order in, actually.
Well,
Header
Richards gets
one.
the ball
Ben
to
Milnes.
Milnes, who's barged off it, and nothing given. Away comes Brownhill. He puts it out wide to Tompkinson. Tompkinson for the overlapping number 3, Putman. Danger here for Kettering. It comes in low. Cleared by Luke Graham. Miskicked it, and somehow that skewered away. And any touch, and that was a goal. That was a poor clearance from Luke Graham, wasn't it?
Comedy. Well, it wasn't at all, was it?
Well, no, he missed
wasn't
it
a
completely.
clearance.
No, it was.
He swung his boot at it, and he got
A bit Keystone Copsy, wasn't it? We said last week we saw a bit of a laugh, didn't we, of a clearance. That was equally as
That
embarrassing.
was awful.
Oh.
Thankfully, there's no one at the back post who was following up with it, because that
Well, I
would have
think
been an
everybody
easy
was
tap in.
surprised that it was missed, but Kettering do clear the ball. But
Tell you what, Brett Solkin's offside here. Liner's not going to give it, but he actually started for an offside position. Oh, and Solkin's adjudged to have been fouled when 2 players were backing into him. 1 minute added on, says the linesman. Thank you for that. So we are very close to half-time. Are we going to be taking a break at half-time? Well, yeah, we are going to be taking a break at half-time. So you can go and get your refreshments in. We will be. Ball clipped forward into Barwell. Paul White takes it easily. And that is one of the easier collections. He'll take long ball forward. Solkin. Oh, he's touched it. And Ben Milnes will keep this on the right-hand side here. And Kettering could get a chance here. Ball goes in, headed up, not really away. And Bradshaw has fouled the player, allegedly, according to the referee. Marcus Law unhappy with Mr. Dudley. Free kick taken by the goalkeeper quickly. Towers underneath it. Heads away. Picked up by the number 7 on the edge of the centre circle. Played forward. Richins just stops him. And that ball forward from the number 10 goes out of play for a goal kick. And that will more than likely be the half-time whistle when Paul White takes this one. Quite a lot of people have already left their positions in the terraces, presumably to go and get some refreshments. I think, yeah, we should create a hoist system where we can just put the beers on a tray and they get lifted to us, or the lemonades or whatever it is. Goal kick taken. No half-time whistle yet. Henry Eze heads backwards, and he's put his own player under some pressure there, the number 4. And the number 4 is not going to keep it on. It's a throw-in for Kettering, deep in by the corner flag. Ben Tosland with the throw-in. And we've got a new announcer. And Richins was offside, so it will be left for a goal kick. What are you doing on the microphone? George Mike, which one? Well, there we go. Half-time entertainment is Sev singing Faith by George Michael on the tannoy. Well, put it this way, to survive that, you've got to have faith. Anyway, Roe Turner wins the header. Solkin is going to keep this on, and he's still going, Brett Solkin, against his opposite number. Still doing well, Brett Solkin. He's won a throw-in, and that must be half-time. I didn't think it had gone out, but the referee says it has. I would imagine as soon as the throw-in's taken, it's going to be half-time if it goes backwards. Oh, no, still in play. Nope, there we go. Half-time, so in a game that means nothing to both teams, it's a scoreline that means nothing to both teams. It has very much been a very close to a pre-season friendly. Nice weather, both teams playing for pride, really. A much rotated team for Kettering. The closest either team has got, really, has been Brett Solkin, 6 yards out. Only had to tap the ball in the back of the net, and it was actually a really good save by the Barwell goalkeeper, Liam Castle, to deny Brett Solkin. Apart from that, Barwell have had one chance where they put it along the floor in Kettering's area. Luke Graham had a complete air shot at it, missed all of the ball, and no one was following up at the back post for Barwell. But apart from that, it's been pretty much a regular football match. Not much to speak about. Two teams that are really just here to enjoy the weather and enjoy the occasion. It's finished at half-time. It's Kettering Town 0, Barwell 0. We're going to have a break, so join us again in 15 minutes.
Welcome back to Latimer Park as Kettering Town are back on the field. The mascots are still in the... I've just seen Champ the Lion score his first goal all season, sending the 3-foot goalkeeper the wrong way. And he's celebrating like if he was Messi. But Phil Wade out there with the eyes at Lodge Eagles, doing a tremendous job with the penalty shootout, as Barwell haven't yet come out on the pitch. It was nice getting the comments from Rhys Honus in that first half. Kettering should be ahead in this game, as the Kettering Angel Brett Solcombe missed an absolute sitter, although he toe-poked it rather than hit it, and it came off the goalkeeper for a corner. Really Kettering's only real chance of that first half. Barwell haven't really had a chance, and long may that continue. Kettering, of course, do need the win to secure the Championship Shield playoff at home position against Weymouth, if that should be the case, rather than travelling down to Sussex on May the 4th, which is the same day as the presentation of awards at Sywell Hangar One Aerodrome. So it's going to be a very, very busy day indeed for all the Poppies family. Barwell coming out of the tunnel now into the heat of the afternoon. It's Gary Graham just giving out the half-time score that Colville 2, AFC Rushden Diamonds 0. Bedworth bottom of the league, 1-1. Marcus Law coming out. And the mascots off the pitch now, getting a round of applause from a packed tin hat. We haven't got the attendance yet. We'll bring you that when we do. And no injuries to report. A slight strain with Dan Holman, who's being rested, as is Rhys Honus, and Aaron O'Connor suffering with a bit of flu. But they should all be hopefully ready for the game against AFC Rushden Diamonds on Easter Monday. And if you're not going to the game, Ed Palmer and myself and Matt Spearman will be at that game. You can either listen to us at home or come down to the clubhouse, which is being opened up especially for bacon rolls breakfast, and you can listen to us live in the clubhouse for a change there on Easter Monday. And the bar will be open most of the day as the players and fans come back from Hayden Road, hopefully with a win. It is Brett Solcombe then over the ball. Kettering kicking from right to left. So the presentation will happen after the game. Brett Solcombe over the ball. He's playing up front. The Kettering Angels had the best and only chance of Kettering's half, that first half. He could have got his 115th goal of the season, but he didn't. So we shall see. Referee Dadwell looking at his watch. Matt Spearman is post. Yeah, we haven't got any co-commentator at the moment. He's probably comatose in the clubhouse or outside, but it is Storer with the ball. He finds Milnes back to Richards, pumps it forward, and he's Solcombe up front. He's got Eze with him, but it's going to be the number 3 Putman who has to react rather quickly and hoofs the ball out for a throw-in in this second half. Just started if you're joining us, and fans have moved round to the tin hat in glorious conditions, and often we say that at Latimer Park as Richards pumps the ball square for Roe Turner in the Barwell half. He's got Brighton, but he's beaten to it. But it's back with Roe Turner. Hens it forward, cut out by Percival. It finds Bradshaw, though. Bradshaw to Brighton, but it doesn't reach Brighton. Away come Barwell, intercepted by Richards. Played it forward towards Milnes. Milnes puts the ball forward towards Solcombe. Solcombe's offside, though. And an early second half chance. Flag goes up. Millimetres in it, I'd say. But then I would say, wouldn't I? But it's Castle, rolls the ball forward a few yards more than he should, but he does so. It's Liam Castle in all sky blue, puts the ball out wide for Julian. He wins that. It's a good header. Rowe to Hollis. Hollis to Rowe. Rowe now has been shielded by Toseland, and that just goes out for a goal kick. I thought it might be a corner, just watching that, but there we are. So a goal kick to Paul White, who's Paul White with it. Nothing happening here so far, and Paul White gets us back underway towards Toseland, flicks it on. It comes off the Barwell player, who keeps it in, actually, the number 11, Hollis. He finds Hickey. Hickey puts a low ball in, headed out by Graham, and that's going to be a throw-in on the right-hand side. The bar looks empty now at the moment behind us. Yeah, Ed's there again. He's on the floor, though, taking it out of the tap this time. It's appalling sight. Throw in to Barwell, to Julian. He pumps the ball high in the penalty area. It comes off Storer and Graham, and it goes out on the far side to Tompkinson. He turns, puts the ball into Hickey. Hickey finds Brownhill. Might try a shot, does. Comes in, and Paul White leaps to that, but it goes over the bar and just gone over. Almost hit the Kettering Town bus that's parked on the grass at the back of the Brian Martin stand there. So still 0-0 here as Kettering Town champions of the division. And Ed Palmer's back with us. Ed, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Have I missed much?
No.
Excellent. So, goal kick for Paul White. So, Brett Solkin was through on goal, but it was offside.
That is true. Millimetres, isn't it, Ed, as you'd expect from one of my decisions. But the ball is pumped forward now, and Hollis is underneath it with Towers. Towers flicks it forward. Out comes Paul White. Marshals the ball, has it, delivers it, and pumps it forward, but that's going to go straight to Castle, I believe, unless something freakish happens. It doesn't, and Castle gets the win on this bone-hard surface. It hasn't rained for, 40 days, is it?
Or 40 nights.
Or 40 nights, it seems to be. It's very hard indeed, and very difficult surface to play on when it is bone-hard, or when it is wet, or
when it is absolutely perfect conditions. It's still quite difficult to play on.
Bounce, but it's going to be a throw-in to Barwell on the far side. That came off at Ben Mills by the halfway line. Referee telling Barwell to take it back to the correct position. Only pinched 12 yards. That wasn't too bad. Still pinching the 4, 5, 6 there, look. And headed on by Jamie Towers. He finds Hollis, flicks it on, and Hollis comes through, tries an opportunity shot, and that goes wide of Paul White's goal. Right-footed, and volleyed by Paul White, who let that go into the car park behind, as fans still transferring to the Tin Hat. And we believe that the presentation will take place in the centre circle, and after the presentation has taken place, the players will run towards the Tin Hat for all their mayhem and celebrations to take place. But we'll bring you information on that and highlights from our videos, etc. later in the week, as Paul White gets the ball to Storer. Storer flicks it off a Barwell player for a throw-in. That was off Putman. Throw-in to Kettering, Ed.
Yep, Storer looking for an option. Goes back to Graham. Graham plays into the channel. Henry Eze having to deal with it. No, Solkin's won the ball off him, and back heel to Ben Bradshaw. Bradshaw puts the ball in, falls over though, gets it all sorts of wrong. Straight back to Liam Castle, who bowls the ball out right. And Barwell might have a counter-attack here. Toseland has to come all the way back. Good challenge by Richins, and he's kept the ball in as well. He's got nothing on though. Has to go up to Brighton. Brighton plays it to Bradshaw, who plays the ball through. It was too short, and away come Barwell again. Left-hand side, still coming forward, and now with the number 8. Feints, goes back, puts the ball in, straight into the hands of Paul White. And of course, whilst I was on my wanders, I got hijacked and was told I have to promote and advertise Vince Hairdressers, Vince the Barbers, because apparently Ben Toseland is playing, and that's where he gets his haircut. So I don't, but that's where I get my haircut as well. So
other barbers can be mentioned.
Other barbers can be mentioned, but Vince is by far the best. There we go.
Good endorsement there as Bradshaw pumps the ball forward. It's only Solken and Eze with it, the two veterans of the side. Eze is allowing this to bounce out. And Eze clears the ball only towards Luke Graham, who heads it back towards Richards. He traps it, takes a touch, does well in the conditions, but gives the ball straight away. Cleared towards Hollis, but Graham wins that, and that's headed out by Brownhill on the far side. Still 0-0 here. Nothing too spectacular about this. Richard Atkinson and the highlights will find it difficult at the moment to get more than a few moments at the moment.
Yeah, it's certainly been one of them games, hasn't it? Both teams know that their fate is pretty much secured. So,
signed, sealed and delivered for Kettering.
Yeah, Kettering are experimenting, as you've seen the lineup. Getting a few players who have not had that much game time, bit of minutes on the pitch. Oh, and there could be a chance here as Solken tries to play it through to Milnes, overhits it. Brighton's there, he wins the header. Eze got nowhere near it. Kettering fans trying to claim a free kick. Referee Dadley says nothing. Good header by Graham. It's only come to the number 9 who could have a chance here. Goes all the way out right to the number 2. He's burst forward. Got Roe Turner in attendance. Number 2 still going onto his right foot. Takes a shot. High, wide, not very handsome.
Well, that's hit the bus, hasn't it, that one? And some scores coming through here. It is Colville 2, Diamonds 0. Lowestoft 2, Stratford 2. They've come back from 2-0 down. I believe that St Kings Lynn are winning 2-0 at St Neots, so there's nothing on the score line here. So that is if you're interested in those scores. None of them affect Kettering, of course, just the other playoff places being fought for. And again, that incredible game last night, we've mentioned Stourbridge 3 and Alfchurch 3. Alfchurch 2-0 up in that game, and then had to score a 97th minute equaliser to run out 3-3 with Stourbridge. No goals here at the moment.
I'll tell you what, though. We've said it's about the pre-season game and both teams are secured. I'll tell you one person who isn't happy with places being secured is Marcus Law. He's absolutely furious with the performance so far, isn't he?
Well, he has the opportunity to make changes, doesn't he, to try and get some different play out of it. I mean, he's seen the first half performance and there's been no changes. They've done nothing different. But he might be furious, but why not make some changes?
What he's unhappy about is, well, he's going to make a substitution as well, but what he's unhappy about is it appears as though players just aren't doing what they've told him to do. Or sorry, what he's told them to do, sorry. And Gary Storer and Ben Toseland in particular have been at the sort of on the brunt of his wrath. They seem to be playing a little bit too deep for what Marcus wants them to play. And
this free kick comes in here. Towers got a free header, and rather than head it towards goal, he heads it wide. That should have been on target. Would have put Paul White in extreme difficulty, but a poor header from Jamie Towers.
But let's just give a bit of credit to Marcus Law actually, because it's he's picked a team that is very fringe heavy. And it's going to be Dion Kelly-Evans coming on, and it's going to be Michael Richards coming off. But it's very fringe heavy, but let's give credit to him. He's not come here with a fringe team and sort of non-starters and substitutes to just get through today's game unembarrassed. He actually wants to win this game. And he, although he's not come out with a recognised striker in the strongest 11, he's picked a team that clearly, judging by his sort of touchline antics, he feels should be doing better in this game. And, he wants to give the whatever is here crowd a real party atmosphere.
You'd also think, Ed, also the players that haven't had a start recently will be trying to really impress and prove their worth. And at the moment, they haven't really done that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you look at like the off-season, so summer, the amount of transfers for non-contract players, which of course the majority of this team are at this level, if they, you've got to look, if they want to stay here, then, Kettering will be looking to make improvements to this squad. And there are a lot of players that potentially are in the danger zone.
Well, yes, you're right. And it'll be interesting to see over the summer months what Marcus Law and Richard Lavery do with this Kettering Town squad. It does need to be improved because it's a very strong division. There's the Vanarama North, or the Motorama Vanarama, what it's going to be called next season. But looking at some of those teams in there, it's going to take a lot of changes. There's a free kick to Barwell. They pump it in. There's Jamie Towers, and it goes wide and for a goal kick. You've got to consider that the games that Kettering have lost this season, quite a few of them have against been tall, physical players. You take Alfchurch, you take Biggleswade, you in Green as well, yes. So two in particular that have really out-muscled Kettering. A lot of these northern sides are going to be in that similar position, physical, big sides. Kettering have got a lot of small players, and even Marcus Law admits, doesn't he, it's a small side that we have.
The only saving grace, really, in Kettering's favour, is that we are going to come up against a lot of teams that are, you know, a good footballing sides as well, and we're going to come up with a lot of teams that have got a good surface to play on, and we all know that Kettering play better when they've got a good surface to play on, when they can play football and they can really get going and, you know, play the ball, play passing football. You know, that's the only saving grace really for Kettering, because when they come against teams that have got these bowly surfaces, that have got big, strong centre halves and, you know, big, strong centre forwards, that has been their, not weakness as such, but their undoing this season, really.
It has, and the ball is with Brett Solkin, who heads it on, but it's headed straight to a Barwell player. It's Brady Hickley, who's been brought down by Bradshaw. The referee says no, but it's given away by Hollis. He finds Tompkinson, who's about 10 yards offside. The linesman's asleep and doesn't give it. It's still Tompkinson with it. He comes in deep here, plays it out, but a poor ball. And a poor ball by Luke Graham, who spoons it out for a corner. He could have cleared that and has put Kettering under pressure he didn't need to do.
Yeah, that whole counter-attack really was bizarre. Well, Henry Ease is going up for the corner. He doesn't do the forward roll that he used to do, of course, Henry Ease. He used to do that little forward roll that he does. He doesn't. Ball goes in towards the back post, headed across goal. Oh, chance for Barwell. Real chance for Barwell. And that could very easily have been a goal and 1-0. It was the wrong part of his head, and off it goes for a goal kick. Substitution for Kettering. James Brighton is going to come off. And it's going to be Lyndon Meikle who's going to be coming on. Change of formation possibly for Kettering as well.
Yep, Brighton's put in a decent shift. Remember, he's coming back from injury, and he'll be glad to get some minutes on the park. Lyndon Gary Graham just telling the attendants to keep off the pitch until we've set up the presentation ceremony. See if they can abide by that. Paul White gets the ball underway, and it's a foul, nothing given. Roe Turner, Eze back
Let's
to
just look
Castle.
about where Kelly Evans is playing at the moment. He's not playing at right back,
He's
is
not.
he?
He's playing up front, isn't he? I can't believe that either. There was a foul on Solkard, and the Barwell player's gone down. The referee gave nothing, and now the Barwell player stayed down. Law not happy at all with what he's seeing. As Ed Palmer mentioned earlier, he's not furious, but he's now giving out water as a break in play as the Barwell player gets to his haunches.
He's using this to provide some instruction to his players, isn't he? And you know, Marcus Law does not want to lose this match. He doesn't want to be the man who won the title and then in the celebrations lost the match as well. But oh, what a shame! Oh, what a shame!
Oh, I'm overcome with emotion.
Colville 3, AFC Russian and Diamonds 0.
Oh,
what a
dear.
shame!
Oh dear!
Well,
Oh dear.
their outside chance of the playoffs has just become
Even outer.
yes, impossible.
Impossible. Well, the ball's back
Shame.
with Liam Cattle after all that. Kettering take a bit of a water break. Barwell wanted the same. Of course, Marcus and Barwell. Barwell is one of Marcus Law's former teams, had a superb success with them.
Had that incredible unbeaten run as well, didn't he?
65 games, I think, including the Kettering games, as again, Barwell come away with it. It is Julian down here to Rowe your boats. He's done so to Brownhill. Brownhill puts a forward ball in. There's a good ball here. Chested down, might try, but handball offside has been given. Looked like a handball to me, but
It did also look like he'd brought it down with his arm, but
if he'd have connected with that one, that could have been difficult for Kettering. And the bar still being used down here. I can see 3 on there. Meikle there with his first touch with it. Finds Storer on the far side. Storer by the byline. Plays it back to DKE. He squares it back to Meikle. Meikle. I did, yes. to Bradshaw. Bradshaw squares it and somehow finds Roe Turner. Wasn't a particularly good ball, but he gets Mills. Mills is put forward towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw and Eze. Eze beats him to it and allows the ball to come through the Castle. The strength of Eze compared to the frame of Bradshaw is David and Goliath.
Very much. It is very much Adebayo Akinfenwa, isn't it? He's a big centre half, Henry Eze. He has only got bigger since he's played for us, and it's not fat either. Let me put it that way. It is all muscle. Good work by Luke Graham, and then who's that? Oh, is that Storer? That's fantastic footwork on the edge of his own box. Referee, get out of the way as it comes to Ben Mills. Ben Mills plays a switch towards Dion Kelly-Evans, DKE, as we're now calling him apparently on Poppy's TV. Still going, Kelly-Evans. Kelly-Evans plays it to Ben Toseland. Toseland back out to Ben Mills. Mills to Dion Kelly-Evans. Kelly-Evans plays the reverse ball to Toseland. Just too much on it. Goes through to Liam Castle. That was good football from Kettering.
Wonderful work from Storer with those dancing feet, rather similar to a goal he scored last season, tripping his way through 3 or 4 players. But it's still 0-0 as the Kettering fans are chanting Championes. And DK losing that one. Towers against, Solkin, sorry, against Eze. It is. But there we are. Brownhill with the ball, squares it out wide here to Julian. Rowe with it, plays a ball forward. Toseland allows that to go out, and that is easily under this one, but Solkin wins out. He flicks it on here to Kelly-Evans. Can he get through? He can't. It's put away. A chance there for Kettering. It found Brownhill. Brownhill being pressured by Mills, but does well. Mills robs him with the ball. Mills on the far side to Storer. Do well to keep this in with the bounce. Does well there. Keeps it in with the bounce. And goes forward to Kelly-Evans. Still Kelly-Evans. Turn robbed by the number 6 and gets it back to Luke Graham, making a rare start. He plays it back to Declan Towers. Towers has got Roe Turner here. Get forward, says Marcus Law. And he's found Toseland. Toseland now, we know he can run at them. Toseland with his sweet left foot puts the ball in, but Eze heads the ball out. It could go for a corner. It's come off Storer. Flag goes up for offside. As the waft of barbecue envelops the
someone is having a barbecue, aren't they?
Find that hard to believe.
Bit rude they've not invited us.
Exactly. The referee telling him to get on with it. And
what's going on here? There's a discussion between the linesman and the left back.
Can just do with a burger or a kebab now. Actually, it'd be quite nice with the bar behind us. It's almost.
We have officially declared summer, I think, haven't we?
We have.
Paul White should deal with this one. Heads it to Luke Graham. Clears down the... Oh, it's not a good clearance, though, and away come Barwell on the left-hand side of their attack, right-hand side of Kettering's defence, of course. Barwell have a chance to pop the ball forward. Graham should deal with this one. He's done better than the last clearance. It's going to stay in play, and Meikle inadvertently plays that to a Barwell player, and Graham again heads the ball away. Good work by Solkin to Kelly-Evans. And then Mills is going to play the ball out towards Toseland. Toseland has to nod it in. Henry Eze will deal with this. Takes it on that rather sizable chest and clears long. Towers nods back to Paul White. Danger averted again for another few moments. Well, a 4-figure attendance here, 1,039 to join the party and the celebrations here at Latimer Park. Dion Kelly-Evans then. So Meikle plays a long ball over towards Toseland. Is he going to keep it in? He might do here. He does as well. That's a really good run by Toseland. Toseland plays it into Bradshaw. Cross goal. Oh, it's saved and held by the goalkeeper as it bobbled along the surface. And there could be a chance to counter-attack, but look at Bradshaw. He's already back on the halfway line, and he clips the ball down to Ben Tozen. He's just overhit it. He's going to force the Barwell player to do something, gets it out towards the number 2. The Barwell 2 clips it long down the line. Brought down. Roturner does well. No way, no way! Oh, and Roturner is adjudged to have fouled the number 11. And much to the despair of everyone who's cheering red and black this afternoon.
Quite Mediterranean up here, Ed, isn't it? The nice warm breeze on the legs, and
It's honestly probably one of the nicest days we've had down at Latimer Park for a while.
it is.
Oh, ever, yeah, actually. The number 7 then to put this free kick in. Paul White adopts the starting position. He's come nowhere near it, and it's gone past the post.
Well, I thought that was a goal. Paul White completely missed that, and any touch on target, and that was 1-0, and he somehow put it wide. I mean, if that had been a Kettering Town chance, we'd have been going ballistic at that. But another let-off for Kettering, and wow, that should have been 1-0, and that would have soured the party.
That is 100% a let-off. Paul White came out for that and got absolutely nowhere near it.
Can't blame the wind on that one. And well, Barwell on the far side, buoyed by that attempt there. Here's Julian with the ball, squares it to Rowe. Rowe on the inside the penalty area, puts a right footer in. It comes off Roturner, and Julian can't control that. But unlucky for them. The number 7 can. Brownhill trying to take a shot, doesn't. Plays it out wide to Rowe. Rowe, right footed, put in. Paul White leaves it, and it was Hollis that might have got a chance in there. He's been marshalled by Declan Towers, but it went wide of Paul White. But again, Barwell posing more of a threat than Kettering have in this second half. Still 0-0 here at Latimer Park. And if you are joining us on Easter Monday, Ed Palmer and myself and Matt Spearman will be at AFC Rushden and Diamonds to commentate on that derby game. Diamonds losing 3-0 at the moment, we believe, at Colville Town. Effectively putting their playoff hopes to bed. But Luke Graham heads the ball forward. Miscommunication between Mills and Kelly Evans gives Julian a chance to come away with it. He does. He set off Rowe. Rowe with a bit of space on this right-hand side. Allows it to run towards the corner flag. Rowe, he's got Roturner in front of him. It comes off Roturner. And it's going to be a throw-in to Barwell. So it's Rowe with it. Back with him from the throw-in. Right-footed, plays it back to the number 4. It does so. Rowe with it again. Comes in left-footed, puts a low ball in, cut out by Roturner. There's Tosland. Plays it to Mills, who's then is pushed back by Julian. And that will be a free kick to Kettering. Then Julian stops the quick one. It wasn't 10 yards away. Could have got booked for that. But Mills plays it to Meikle. Meikle now with a little bit of space. He's got Storer on the far side. Doesn't use it. Well, he plays a poor ball for Storer to come back for. Storer now under pressure in his own half. Loses the ball. And away comes Declan Towers. Is a chance here for Barwell. Square ball here. Rowe could hit this one. If he does, it will be on target. Plays it, comes in off Roturner, and Tosland turns, gets the ball away to Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans, not with a lot on. Plays it square to Storer on the far side. Storer comes away with the ball, just going over the halfway line. He's got overlapping Mills, but it comes off the number 7. And that's a Kettering Town throw-in.
Kelly Evans then. Nice 1-2 from the throw-in. Still going. He loses out to Henry Eze, who plays the ball. That's a really good ball, and there could be a chance for the number 9 here. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Still going. Shot straight at Paul White, and away by Towers for a corner.
That's a wonderful ball from Henry Eze, setting away Jamie Towers. That said, it came off Paul White's knees and then put away for a corner by Declan Towers. A good chance again. That's 3 decent chances Barwell have had in this second half. And it's going to be Brownhill to take this corner on our right-hand side, down by the Morrison's end. 1,038 here has been given out as the official attendance.
There we are. There's the Henry Eze somersault. So he walked up towards the corner kick. He did a forward roll. No reason whatsoever, but there we go.
In comes the corner. Toseland gets nothing on it, but Eze will try and keep this in. And in the process, falls down to ironic cheers from the Kettering faithful. Good old Henry, never fails to disappoint.
As soon as he started running towards it, you could see exactly what was going to happen.
Meikle with it then from that throw-in, plays it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw turns under pressure, being touched. He gets the ball to Roe Turner. He finds Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans under pressure, has to play the ball back. He's being pushed, does well, still being pushed. Kelly Evans fighting off, doing ever so well. Falls, and a foul at last by the referee. And it is, I thought we're getting some more scores, we're not. And it's going to be a free kick to the Poppies. You can see Dan Holman sitting down there relaxing, along with Reese Holman and Aaron O'Connor, all, I won't say enjoying this, but enjoying the sunshine, if nothing else. It's a Lucas A colour they've got, I must admit. But Towers then, he finds Milnes. Milnes squares it to Meikle. Meikle puts the ball out wide to Storer, takes a stumble, but still gets the ball. Storer on the far side, puts in a right-footed shot. Goalkeeper comes in, Brett's there, but it goes straight to Castle as Solken came in as a Wasp is attacking Ed Palmer, and he's fighting it off valiantly. Towers against Towers, and it is Jamie Towers that wins that one, but in doing so puts the ball out, and Ed Palmer thought he was going to get a touch of the ball, but it didn't reach him. Milnes, square to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, still Bradshaw being manhandled by Julian, and the referee saw that one. Free kick.
Face mask. 15-yard penalty.
Free kick there taken quickly. Luke Graham on the far side in Kettering's half with it. Pays it to Storer on the wing. Storer square to Meikle, takes a turn. Another turn, a pirouette. Flicks it forward to Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans now. He finds, still with Kelly Evans, plays the ball back to Meikle. Meikle plays the ball out wide, and the shocking ball from Meikle gives Storer no chance with that, and that goes out for a throw-in as chips are being eaten behind us now. And where are our chips? And getting some scores coming through. It's Colville Town 4, FC Rusden Diamonds 0. I think we can say it's all over for Rusden Diamonds. And no other scores really that laughs of amusement from Ed Palmer. That scores the ball's put out towards Kelly Evans. And here's Toseland's got it now. Ben Toseland with a chance here. He's got nobody with him. Needs some help here. Hasn't got any help. Still Ben Toseland. He's being manhandled. Does well, Toseland, being fouled. Come along, referee. And the referee's giving it the other way, unbelievably. Gives it the other way as Toseland was being manhandled all the way, but Dadley must be in a universe of his own. Gives it the opposite way. It's quickly taken. And Jamie Towers is being fouled there. Must be a goal here. Paul White comes out. Remarkable save. He's still got it. And how Barwell didn't score there, I do not know. That was incredible. But it still remains 0-0, but Barwell having the better of the chances in the second half and possibly should be ahead in this game. The ball with Storer on the far side. He's lost the ball to the number 8, who's given it to Hickey. Hickey now with space. Puts the ball through. It's a good ball. Hollis. Hollis is there. Linesman looking at that. Hollis with it. It comes in. Must be a goal here. Comes across there. No one touches it. Needs to be kept in. It's kept in. No Kettering players gone to the ball as Rowe gets it. Kettering, really good challenge. Cries of penalty. And away comes Toseland. Now Kettering with the chances. Only Solken up front. Toseland, though, has to take his time. Plays the ball back to Meikle. Meikle under pressure from Rowe. Still Meikle with it, left-footed. And it stays in. Should be another foul there on Meikle. Nothing given. Poor refereeing by Dadwell. I will say that. Poor refereeing by Dadwell. And now Ben Milnes. It's getting a bit more of a rip roarer here as Milnes goes forward. He's got Solken with him. Still Milnes obstructed and should have released the ball. Barwell get the ball away. It's Rowe trying to find Hickey on the far side. He does. It's a good ball. In comes now, back to Hickey. Hickey might try a shot. He's the leading goal scorer. Puts one in. Paul White. It bounces in front of him on this hard surface. And the second attempt, he gets it just in front of him. Good save in the conditions. Hickey, of course, scored a lot of goals for Barwell. and pressure there. Paul White out with the ball, but a poor ball from Paul White, really. And it is Julian with it. That must be offside, and Hollis only 10 yards offside, and millimetres when it's Kettering, yards when it's the opposition. I'm not biased.
Oh, hang on, we're going to have a
A
substitution.
substitution here for Barwell. Number 12 is coming on. Hollis coming off. Daniel Durkin coming on for the Canaries, and fans have been reminded once again to keep off the pitch until told to come on, because we've got to set up the presentation arena. We shall remain up here filming with Matt Spearman while the rest of us will go down and be insulted by the fans, trying to get some interviews as we go along, getting some more score. No, my board's being nicked by Richard Atkinson. Declan Towers with the ball. So Ben Bradshaw then has put in a decent shift for the youngster, giving another youngster, Joe Massaro, a chance to show what he can do. And it is Joe's, I think, first appearance here in the league. Towers then with the free kick, plays it out wide for Story. He'll do well to keep this in. He does keep it very well trapped, and he puts the ball forward in here. The back post there, Solkin tries to get in, and left-footed, just spoons the ball over. Very difficult chance, but a good effort from Solkin. Want to see more of that as time marches on. Still 0-0 here, and I thought for a moment there, Ed, we're going to get some joy.
Yeah, it was a chance, wasn't it? But not long left in this game. But it's still a joyous atmosphere, still a party atmosphere, and no one is leaving this one early. They're going to stay and party with the team to celebrate the championship win. Goes out for a throw-in for Barwell. Taken back to the number 3, who left-footed puts this one forward. Bounces, Towers, does enough on it. Only gives it back to Barwell, though, and there could be a chance. Shot! Well, Barwell have scored. Declan Towers didn't quite get enough on the ball, and it allowed the Barwell man to get there from the edge of the box and put a low shot in towards Paul White. It's 1-0 Barwell. Whether it will dampen the spirits of this Kettering crowd, it's yet to be seen. But it is Kettering Town 0, Barwell 1.
So disappointment for Kettering fans, on a good strike, and Barwell have had the better of the chances in this second half when they punished Kettering there. So with it all to do to make sure this isn't a damp squid. Marcus Law furious with that. As Brett
Not
Salton,
happy, is he?
He's not, and I'm glad I'm not interviewing after the game today. But Towers then gets the ball towards Story. There's Solkin. Solkin heads the ball on, comes in. Oh, and that goes inches wide. He was offside anyway, but it was a good attempt there from Solkin to get the scoreline equal straight away after that shocker score. It is Barwell leading this one now, 1-0. Goal scored by Hickey, and he's been the danger man, and not what the 1,038 want to see. But again, it doesn't matter, other than Kettering's home form will read another defeat as the ball comes towards Kelly Evans. A flick onto Solkin. Solkin plays it out, but given away, and a foul on Solkin by Eze, who's grinning to Solkin. Kelly Evans then with the ball. Mr. Palmer being attacked by another Wasp. Ball back with Roe Turner. Trying to find Solkin with it. Solkin heads it on, but it goes right at Eze, who pumps the ball forward. He finds Massaro, gets chested down by Storer. Trying to find Kelly Evans under pressure, gets the ball back to Massaro. He finds Meikle. Meikle puts another heavy ball, but it will be kept in this time by Storer. Thought he was going to cross it, doesn't. Plays it back to Meikle. Meikle, a poor touch from Meikle, has to go back a couple of paces. Plays it now wide again to Storer, back with Meikle. And headed out, this is going to be a throw-in. No, it's kept in by Meikle. No, he's left it. And The throw into the poppies. Well, not the exhibition of football we thought, Ed, was going to happen in this game so far. Kettering a goal behind, and can't really say that Barwell don't deserve to be a goal ahead.
Yeah, it's a fair point, actually. They've certainly created the more chances. I think Kettering have probably had the better chance when Salcombe was 6 yards out in the first half, really. That was the chance that you would look at all of them and you'd take them all out and go, that was really the chance to get a goal on the score sheet.
Richard Atkinson wanting us to be away at Weymouth by the looks of things. Cause,
well, you can stop for a start. Stay a Weymouth. Nice.
Well, in comes the ball again. Paul White comes out, collects it. He's outside the area there. Well, the Barwell players have gone ballistic, but referee's having none of it. And he gets the ball out. There's a foul there.
I tell you what, Paul White was outside the box. Whether the ball itself was outside the box, I'm not sure. But that was very, very close.
Castle then with this free kick as the mascots are all out on the far side getting ready for the presentation, and it's supposed to be interviewing people, so maybe not. Castle pumps the ball forward. Rowe turn under it, but leaves the ball, and that comes off Rowe for a goal kick. Time running out for Kettering to equalise in this game, and the bar very, very well stocked behind us. We may have to indulge in one after the game. That'll be our first of the afternoon.
Well, yes, we only indulge after the game is finished, of course.
That is true. Eze. Ball comes forward to the substitute, Durkin. He's inside penalty area. He's got Luke Graham with him. Plays it through here. Missed touch there. Could be Hickey again. Plays it. Good save from Paul White. It had to be as well. He was at full stretch and he palms it away for a corner. Otherwise, Kettering would have been 2 down to that man Hickey again, who's the main threat for the Canaries. And it's a corner to Barwell. And Sun beating down. Level 42, I think that is. But it is... comes in. There's Eze. He misses it. Headed out by Massaro. Owned towards Brown Hill. He takes the touch. Has to play it back to the corner taker, which he does, who's moved forward. He's got Meikle round him. Back to Brown Hill. Brown Hill goes inside or outside of Milnes. Plays the ball forward. Comes in. There's Eze. Are we going to see a spectacular Eze? We're not. And a handball by Massaro right on the edge of the penalty area. That could be a fatal touch. So Ed Palmer is leaving us for the last few moments. And it's a free kick then right on the edge of the penalty area. Central of goal. We've got Dominic Brown Hill over it. Eze's there as well, not known for his free kick taking, but it's a very good position for Barwell. Paul White wandering up and down. There's 4 in the wall. Referee telling the wall to get back. In comes the free kick now. In it comes high there, hits the bar and comes out. That was incredible. Paul White rooted to the goal line. A stumble there by Brown Hill, but certainly beaten all the way. Barwell should have possibly gone 2-0 up. Brown Hill back with the ball, taking his time, puts one in, it comes in, cleared by Massaro. It's going to reach Toseland, it comes off Toseland, nothing he can do about that, and it's a throw-in back to Barwell. Of course, they're taking their time now along with it as Rowe throw-in taken by Rowe, back to Rowe. He puts one in, right-footed. There's Storer, gets to it. Good job, because Hickey, who falls down, was just behind it. Meikle gets there first, but loses the ball to Towers. Still Towers with it. That's Jamie Towers right by the corner flag. He'll be there as much as he can to waste as much time as he can. He's in the quadrant of the flag, and it goes out. That's a throw-in to Barwell under pressure from Meikle. 1-0 to Barwell if you're listening in from abroad. And disappointing news for those of you that are listening in. It's not been a vintage performance by any means by Kettering. Probably saving themselves for that classic against our friends down the road. I say friends loosely, down the road on Easter Monday. But in front of their own fans, they were hoping to see a victory. They will see a presentation, which we will bring you in our highlights package of around 5 seconds, according to Richard Atkinson, later in the week. Meikle with the ball, but his return pass towards Storer goes out for a throw, and it's all in Kettering's half, as most of the game has been so far. So it isn't what the fans wanted to see. They do want to see the trophy. Whatever happens, Kettering Town are champions. And Marcus Law urges the team to get going. And they haven't got going really all game. And there's a melee over there. There's a foul, and there's a free kick to Kettering. Free kick then. It's taken by... I'm not sure who that's by. I think it says by Mills. It came off a Barwell player. So it's gone for a throw-in that Mills takes straight away. It's back though with Barwell, who lumped the ball forward, intercepted by Mills, lost to Brownhill. He gets Hickey underway on the far side, being chased by Storer. In comes Hickey. Danger here for Kettering. He's outside the penalty area. He takes a turn, gets the ball back to Tompkinson. He's now got Hickey in front of him, decides not to use him. Brownhill though, right footed, gets the ball into Rowe at the back post. Rowe's unmarked, gets the ball in. There's Jamie Towers, and he heads over. Anything on target would have put Paul White under pressure. But it still remains Kettering Town 0, Barwell 1. And it isn't the script that was written before the game. And we're looking down here to see how much time we've got left. Can't be too long to go. And Kettering, of course, are back here against Stratford on the 27th. Final league game of the season. Salkin beaten to it and fouling Rowe in the process. Referee gives a free kick to Barwell just on the halfway line. I make it around 2 or 3 minutes of normal time to go, if that. Liam Castle comes forward to take this free kick, and Marcus Law does not look happy. Liam Castle then puts the ball forward. That should go out of play. It does. Roturner watches that go out. Are Kettering going to put something together in the final few moments of this game to give the fans something to cheer about? Roturner then with the ball from Paul White, plays a long ball towards Kelly Evans, missed by Roturner, and now here's Mills. Mills has the chance here. He's got Kelly Evans. He plays it to Salkin. Salkin loses the ball though, and away comes Rowe, and he pumps the ball, intercepted by Massaro, but it goes to Brownhill. Brownhill plays it towards Jamie Towers. He puts it through towards the number 12, Durkin, the substitute. He's on the penalty area. Could be danger here for Kettering. Ball comes in long. It comes off Declan Towers, and that will be a corner in the dying moments here of this game. Kettering losing this one in the blazing sunshine here at Latimer Park. But whatever happens, Kettering Town are going as champions, and but not the display that I think 99% of the fans here wanted to see. And of course Barwell dampening the party atmosphere that Kettering have created. But it's going to be a corner to the visitors. 3 minutes of added time. In comes the corner from Brownhill. It's a long corner which Jamie Towers has to chase back. He's got the ball back to Tompkinson. Tompkinson, he finds Julian. Julian back to Tompkinson. Tompkinson, it's all Barwell really. Back to Brownhill, squares it to Hickey. Hickey plays the ball back to Julian. Julian back to Putman. Putman, long ball for Durkin to chase. He gets it offside, and Kettering get the ball in their hands for the last 2.5 minutes of this disappointing game, really, for the Poppies. Paul White has been adjudged to be given man of the match for the game. That's chosen by the Exiles, who are the sponsors of today's game. It's Kelly Evans lumps the ball forward towards Solkin. Solkin beaten to it by Eze. And Kettering can't get the ball. Massaro does well. And is adjudged to have fouled Brown Hill. Marcus Law not happy with the referee, giving him his opinion in no uncertain terms. But man of the match then, Paul White. Just as an uplifter for all you people that are listening all around the world on this one here, it's Colville 5. Yes, 5. AFC Rooston and Diamonds 0, and Lowestoft have gone 3-2 head against Stratford, so that puts the playoff positions in a bit of bother as the ball arrives at Paul White as Towers goes down. Paul White denied taking a quick goal kick, does now though towards Solkin. He flicks it on towards Toseland. He's beaten to it, but Toseland gets the ball back, puts it towards Ben Milnes. Ben Milnes plays it back to Massaro. Massaro takes a touch once, twice, gets it towards Meikle, who plays a heavy touch on a bone-hard surface. Then he's knocked off the ball, puts the ball out, and that's a throw-in and possibly game over for the Poppies. The flags and people are getting ready for the celebrations after the game, with Kettering Town being crowned champions. Hasn't been a decent display from the Poppies, and a very, very changed side indeed. As I might get a touch, not quite, as the ball's headed out by Massaro. Marcus Law gets the ball, and Barwell under no urgency to take this throw in. It's the number 4 that eventually does. That's Percival, but out by Roe Turner. That's out of play, and it bounces high by the halfway line, and another throwing to Barwell as the seconds are ticking away. And Kettering's home record not particularly good, and there goes the whistle. It's ended disappointingly. Barwell have beaten the champions 1-0, and the fans being urged to keep off the pitch as the presentations will start to take place. And disappointing for the people that have come here to see Kettering Town today. They're going to see a trophy presentation, and that will at least cheer them up. They're going to be the champions. A good strike from Hickey by Paul White. Marcus Law not happy with the performance, but at the end of the day, that is it. Kettering Town are the champions. So we're going to take a little break in a few moments. It's going to be a 15-minute break while the gantry goes downstairs and the presentations begin to take place. We've got a cordon to erect, a table to erect. Terry Barrett and Gary Clark from the Southern League will be here to present the trophies, which you'll see on our highlights package a bit later. And Queens, we're the champions, sounds out on the Tannoy, and rightly so. It's about a season, not about a game, and it's going to be an interesting game on Monday, which you can listen to on Poppy's TV audio. And I'm going to leave you now and go enjoy the presentations with Ed Palmer. Matt Spearman will be taking some coverage up here, but for now, until Monday, good night.